Good morning and welcome to match day number 6 here at the Women's Invitational International, holding in Lagos, the commercial city of Nigeria. It is a great match day, the semi-final encounters, and we're starting this morning with the table toppers, Rwanda versus fourth on the log, Zimbabwe under 19. Earlier today, my colleague Bob Sanga from where we call him Kigali was at the toss.
Hello and welcome. It is a beautiful Friday morning, match day 6, game 11 of the ongoing 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's Invitational Patricia Kambara Mikapa. Two teams looking on this morning. It is the first semi-finals. In the red corner we have Maposa, the captain of Zimbabwe under 19s, and in the blue corner we have Diane Mimenyimana, the captain of the Rwanda national team, and of course our match referee, Mr. Toyeti Minadi. I believe Rwanda is home. Diane, you do the flip. Tails is the call. And tail it is. Aposa, you've won the toss, a crucial game. It is the semi-final. What are you going to do and why?
We're going to bet first.
Have you made any changes?
No.
Last time you lost against Team Rwanda. Now that you're going to bowl fast again, what the total you're going to restrict Team Rwanda?
I think if we restrict them less than 110, yeah, we can come and defend the score.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
Diane, first time you've lost the toss, did you go in your favor as well?
We also wanted to bat, so it went our way.
And looking at this pitch, what total are you looking at?
Anything above 120, that would be a good score to defend.
Crucial game. You haven't lost a single game. What are the changes? Who comes in, who goes out?
There is no change to the team which played the last game, so we are keeping it like that.
All the best.
Thank you.
You had the news coming out here in the Middle East that the Zimbabwe under 19s have won the toss and they have decided to have a bat first.
Today that's the news from the center with Bob. It is Zimbabwe who have won the toss and they are batting. Interesting game here we have in our hands. Join me in the comms box with Bob Sanga. That's the lineup for both teams. Rwanda, Ibimenia, Maria Bian, the skipper, Alice Ikwize, Clarisse, Fanny, that lady with a century, Gisele Ishiwe, Henrietta Teresa Ishiwe, Roslyn Iwera, Uwase Madele, Benise Muraketete, and we do have the Rosette, Uwase and Muhosa. For Zimbabwe, Bob will take us through the lineup. Mukisi Maposa, the captain, of course, I believe Biza will not surprise us. She will be opening the batting for the young lady Chevrons, Christina Mutasa, who has to be very, very key in this particular knockout game. Lorena, who scored a 50 in the last game against Team Ghana. Nicolette Nika, Salem Museka, Tadiwa Galusa, Tamawa Mimenyasha, Bethel Zinyan, Naomi, and Mpofu. That's how the lineup for you today promises to have some encounter here. This tournament is named after the great Madam Patricia Kambarame. The husband is also in town to honor and being honored by the Nigerian Cricket Federation. If you're just joining us, this is the 5th edition. We had Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa under 19, Zimbabwe under 19, and Rwanda, who have been past champions of this tournament. We played the bilateral series between Nigeria and Rwanda. Of course, the lady Chevrons who are taking on, of course, Team Rwanda, who are still unbeaten in this tournament, would love to make a statement in this knockout stage, given that they are coming on the back of a very convincing win against Team Ghana, where they batted first, of course, and scoring the highest total in the tournament so far, 225, led by beloved Biza Century. And of course, some contribution once again from Christina Mutasa and Lorraine, who are going to be very, very key in this game. Interesting day we have in our hands. Later today we'll see Nigeria lock on with South Africa under 19. The only game in this tournament earlier that had gone into the super over, and Nigeria winning by one. I'll tell you what, that was a close, really close one for Nigeria. But today we'll see again both teams meeting again. This time for the second time in this tournament. The first game and the second game. Earlier on it was Rwanda that dominated against Zimbabwe under 19, but the youngster below Biza will be looked at as the one that might have to make a strong statement here against Rwanda. If she can set a decent total, then we have our games in a great game in our hands. Talking about, of course, the lady Chevrons batting lineup. On the other side of the women's, they have Mary Diane, the captain, who picked up 3 wickets in the power play the last time these two sides faced off each other. Rwanda on the other side, they are unchanged in this knockout game against the Zimbabwe under 19s. key players to watch out for from the women's side, of course, with the ball in hand is going to be none other than Elizabeth Katete alongside the captain and Rosine Irera. We haven't seen much from Ariete Ishino with the ball in hand, but we expect her to bring out her A game once, of course, she'll be given the ball by the captain.
I was going to talk about Henriette because she's been a crucial member of this team and have been very productive in previous tournaments, but we haven't really seen much of her this tournament. Hopefully she can come out today and show us. Gisele as well, Ishinwe. I thought she would be the wrong body for this tournament, but we're still yet to see her. Hopefully between today and tomorrow she can come through in this semi-finals and hopefully with our team in the finals.
As we see, of course, and the umpires making their way out there in the middle. It's going to be none other than the beloved Biza opening the batting for the young lady Chevrons. Alongside Nicolette Nika. They would love to see if she carries the form she had in the previous game. Is beloved Biza being the second centurion in the 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's Invitational T20 Patricia Kambarani Kappa. With no surprise, of course, we would expect to see Diani Minimana bowling the very first over, given that she troubled her with those outswingers. Yeah, of course, she was caught in the very first game of the first off by Rosine Irera in first snooper. First semi-final of the 5th edition. Rwanda taking on the young lady Chevrons. Diani Minimana, with no surprise, will be bowling the first over. She has a slipping play in Rosine Irera. That man. Last time, of course, she got off strike with a lovely shot down the ground is beloved Biza. She has been very, very key for the young lady Chevrons. They want her, especially in this knockout game, to bring out her A game. And of course, on the other side, the Rwandans, they know the wicket they need is the one of beloved Biza, who has played ODI cricket for the lady Chevrons. One of the, of course, the most experienced players in this particular tournament. Interestingly, here the field set, they only have one fielder outside the ring at the one side, a third man. Picked up 4 wickets in the first game against the Zimbabwe U19 is the captain in her 3.4 overs. And for only 17 runs, they would love her to replicate those bowling figures, especially in this particular game. They are still yet to lose a game. Led by that lady on the screens, the young man, the captain of the team member. Fast ball, here we go, says the umpire.
Straight away on the back foot, straight to the fielder, and will be a single. Just a bit of history around this tournament. In 2019, Nigeria won. In 2022, Rwanda. 2023, Nigeria did again. In 2024, it was Tanzania en route to the Africa Games, winning in Nigeria. Hopefully, by the end of tomorrow, we will know those who have won this tournament. Good start there by beloved Biza, one of the centurions so far of this tournament. A decent line, just push that one straight to mid off for no loss, for no wicket, no run. A brilliant umbrella field placement here. Just one fielder outside the inner ring. A swing and misses out on that one. And that fielder is at Tedman. It's quite an attacking field placement here by Captain Dian. She knows what she wants, so she's shown consistency and always taking wickets as this tournament progresses. Nice shape, this gentle swing from Maria Dion Trust me, she's enjoying and loving her moments here. Skipper of this Rwandan side. She's lifted this trophy before. She wants it dearly, potentially the strongest side in this tournament. And hopefully, let's see what happens between South Africa under 19 and Nigeria. And that's the wicket. Unbelievable. So simple, so easy. Nicole with the pass without scoring after 4 deliveries. Quite disappointing. No reason whatsoever. That was just around off stump line. The strongest side in this tournament. Hopefully, let's see what happens between South Africa and 19.
Second time, look at that outswinger. Easy taking there from Alice Ikuvi at Kavaza. 1 wicket for over. She's done Nicoletta. Twice in the tournament is Diana Minimana. Make that 5 wickets for her against the young lady Chevronza. Very good start here, I would say, for the team that has lost a game. They'd love to capitalize on that as we see Tadia Garutsa, who joins beloved Biza. They don't mind picking up wickets on the other hand.
And that was a soft dismissal. No reason whatsoever, not in a hurry. But Diane, we must give her flowers. She's brought a very, very decent line and length in this over. Great on replay again. Just there, but you could see that shape, that gentle shape leaving the bat. Caught in between. It's Tadiwa who faces the last delivery of the first over. Oh, beautiful line again, and that brings us to the end of the first over. It is 1-1 for the loss of 1 wicket.
By the looks of it, it's going to be Reason Iriara and not Belize Mekatete to open the ball in front of the court of appeal end. Spin straight away from the other end. She has a slipping play in the captain herself. Diana Minimana, who just picked up the very first wicket. She has a deep square leg and a long gun, the only 2 fingers outside the winger. She's proven, of course, in the last couple of years, very key for the Rwandans in the power play. She always pick up a wicket or even 2 in the power play. Didn't miss the skill, of course, gripping that ball as a spinner. Up against beloved Biza. They know this is the wicket they need. Very fully packed offside for beloved Biza. Calls on the back foot, this the outside edge. Starts off with the dot ball is Reason Iriara.
That one straight to long area. Fielder comes through just a single. Very brilliant decision here by the captain. Slow things down from the court of appeal end. Those drop shots of the skipper herself. Another dot ball. Plenty here already. You guided a single for sure. Just a guide towards goal. We get a second. Brilliant one in between wicket. These two, Tadiwa and beloved Biza.
Getting off the mark. Tadiwa this time round, of course, picking that gap. Taking their time at the Rwandans to set the right field for these two, Tadiwa and beloved Biza. She has a backward point and the point in play. Expect to see, of course, Reason Iriara bowling it outside off stump. She has a lot of variation. She'll give you 6 different deliveries. Is Reason Iriara. That's over straight to the field. And a bit of sloppiness there from Giovanni, sir.
Remember those coaches talk, never run off in this field. You're getting yourself into trouble. No, it was a call from Tadiwa. Beloved, always ready to run. She goes big, inside out, and that would go. But fielders in the chase, two runs certainly would be completed here. That's a brilliant shot by Tadiwa. Some confidence gradually building. And that brings us to the end of the second over. 6 for the loss of 1 wicket.
5 runs coming off the first over Zina. 6 for 1 after 2. 10 matches so far, of course, in Biza. This being the 11th. 20 innings at 2,286 runs that have been scored. We have 2 centurions so far in Finalizing and in the under. Beloved Biza still out there in the middle. Shot number 3 there on the screens. 16 maximums and 4 half centuries. Tournament that has been growing year by year. We'd expect to see a lot of teams coming in the 6th edition. Dian Winningsman will be bowling the second from the pavilion end. Full wax it on the onside. One bouncer into the vacant. Get me wicket region for a boundary.
Amazing shot. Just stand and deliver that one. Beloved Biza. She's shown that class out. She's got the temperament, ability. The question is, if she bats through 20 overs here today, we would have a very good game in our hands. And that is what Zimbabwe under 19 are going to be banking on. The best batters we spoke about will bat in the top 5. And clearly, Biza knows how important her innings would be for Zimbabwe under 19 today.
Our wicket is very key in this particular game. Apish on the occasion. Beautiful shot at the fielder at short leg. I don't mind seeing Danny Minimana targeting those parts, given that she is getting that lateral moving, shaping away from the right-handers.
And the thing is, if you don't bowl target that leg stump line, then you know you have to be moving it a lot. So the swing is not so much to come back now. But again, with Beloved, she just stands there and flick the bat. This is a much better line. She has to focus on this line because she's getting that shape.
But again, you'd feel for the captain, given that she is bowling from the pavilion end. The ball is bowling towards the indoors. If you know, of course, where the TBS is 8 and dropped short on the field at first loop. It was in the
that one again on the play. It's a beauty of a ball. Really, really beautiful. She's loving it. She knows what she's doing with the ball. A brilliant shot. Just a single. Well, clearly, but we see how easy it is when you go on the leg part, on the leg stump, because you're trying to come. If you're not swinging so much, just keep your middle and off stump line and keep hoping that they will commit themselves. But once you go on the leg stump line and ball is slightly fuller, then they can just keep scoring on that leg side. And if you look at the leg side, it's open, really open between mid on and deep square and square leg. What I would have thought is if you're going to blow that line, then you need to move in a fielder there to stop those singles and give yourself a chance.
Last ball to come from her second. She's gone for 6 runs already. Up and over. Toying with the field is Beloved Biza. The chase will be in vain as she picks up yet another boundary. Started off with the boundary and closes the second over with another boundary. Is Beloved Biza. She can be very dangerous if she stays out there in the middle. The end of the third over, the scoreboard reading 16 for
that shot again. Just there, stand and deliver. She's got the ability and so compact here. Beloved Biza, not going to wait around if you offer her the goodies, and she's loving the moment. 16 for 1 after 3. One way quietly climbing now, but what we want to see is that consistency here. We want to see a good game. We want Beloved Biza to bat through the innings and then see the Shinways coming into bat, then the test of character here it will be.
They know they need to ball in the right channels in the eyes of the Rwandans. If they all want to chase anything close to that 130, we've seen so far how challenging it can be on this particular ground. Starts off with the dot ball again, it was in Irera. Full again, but not enough timing. Another dot ball. Trying to penetrate that gap is Tadua. Only one fielder outside the wing for was in Irera. A deep square leg. Of course, this is the second time the Rwandans are bowling faster. Should be an interesting game. Upper shot on the occasion, catches the call, nearly collides with our partner is Giovanni. As they pick up a double.
A decent tone on the border by Rosie, which is bowling really nice. But Beloved seems to be in control here, not in a hurry. She goes big on the leg side. The feeder comes around it, but they will complete the second comfortably. You could see the aggression when she's ready to go big. End of the fourth over is 19 for 1.
How is that single? You know, this is the last over. She hit the boundary, right? Yeah. Last over. So she stayed that side. It's off. Endurance.
There will be a change in the bowling as Dion, the captain, takes rest, giving a chance to Belize Mekatiti coming in from the pavilion end. Of course, in that previous over, there was 1 run shorter indicated by the umpire. Gotta be very, very careful. Those mistakes can hunt you down. You can't afford to lose by 1 run endurance.
Certainly that's when you would remember Belize on the attack. Stand and deliver. This is a class act. Anywhere in the world, IPL, T20 World Cups, Beloved Biza is going berserk here. Very good shot.
Putting Belize Mekatiti under the pump straight up with offered on the occasion, allowing her to free her arms into the vacant long off region for a boundary. She is very strong down the ground. I'm not sure this was the right move, given that Team Rwanda have the likes of Alice Ukuve and Beloved Biza doesn't love slow bowling attack. She loves playing and she is making good use of that opportunity given to her by the Rwandans as they bring in the third man inside the ring and sending a longer fielder for Beloved Biza. I don't mind this move from the Rwandans. She will always give you a chance, is Beloved Biza, once you pitch it up for her. Causing the back foot, a tattoo on the occasion from Belize Mekatiti.
Brilliant line now, good fight back. Business like here, the attitude. Now you can see the battle between the bowler and the batter. But I'll tell you what, don't be surprised, Bob, today if we get our upset. But it will be a good game we have in our hands as long as Beloved Biza bats through this innings, and she knows how important her wicket is for the Zimbabwean under-19 side. And clearly, the intensity we could see from that last delivery. The Belize saying, hey, I'm here to bowl, not joke around.
The third ball.
Comes down the pitch, straight to the fielder at Kavanza. Still using the middle of Rabata. Should be a very, very good sign for beloved Biza. Of course, you would expect the Rwandans to feel that this is the wicket they need. Leading the runs chart is beloved Biza with 185 runs so far in the tournament. Went past, of course, Fanny Utagushima in the previous outing against Team Ghana. With her century, the second to be precise of the tournament so far. Pace on and look at that carry to the wicketkeeper from Abilis Mekatete. You'd say this is a very good comeback, having gone for a boundary from the very first bowler. She's managed to bowl 3 dot balls back to back. Not pitching it up for beloved Biza. She has a deep extra cover and the long off is Abilis Mekatete. She would love, of course, to stick to that tip of off, outside offer, kind of line and length into the block hole. But very good awareness from beloved Biza, picking up a quick single.
Very smart cricketers we've got here. You understand what is required. Temperament, good thinking by the bowler and the batter, and testing different options. Short pitch deliveries earlier on, now foolish one. Beloved Biza understanding the field placements, game awareness is up there. It's good to see. Into the last delivery of the 5th over.
Apisha on the occasion from Tadila, and they pick up yet another boundary. Started off with the boundary and closed off with the boundary once again. Very intelligent batting as we come to the end of the 5th over. It's 28 for the loss of 1, moving at 5.6.
That delivery again, short pitch, giving the room there. Tadila welcome those ones, and we get down to the boundary. Lindsay conceding 9 from that over. The score now 28 for 1. Interesting. We're into the 6th over.
Interesting again, no signs of Alice Ikuzwe, who has been very, very key for the runs in the last couple of years with her variations. She has those leg cutters, off cutters. Should be very, very key in this particular game right after the power play, given that Rosinita will be bowling a third from the court of appeal end. You'd say this is a very decent start for the young lady chevrons. At this similar stage, they had lost 4 wickets in their first outing against Rwanda. Moving up against beloved Biza. Starts off with 1 fielder, no enough timing. Straight to the fielder at Covers. She's been very, very tidy. Is that the young Rosin Irina. She has gone for only 8, and they will love her to pick up a wicket.
Brilliant shot. The chase is on, but the second is guaranteed. Beloved Biza, the timing, just everything just going right for her. Plenty of confidence. She's moved on to 18 of 13 deliveries. She goes big this time, finds a gap at mid-wicket area. This is quality cricket. She knows her area, she knows her strength, and she's taking advantage of every situation here on the offer.
This is very good valve from beloved Biza as she gets into the 20s. Full the occasion into the pads, works it on the onside. Trying to finish the power play on the high is the young lady chevrons, led by beloved Biza. 22 or 14. She can be very, very dangerous, as you mentioned earlier, if she occupies that crease more often. How many more can they add in the power play, given that Team Rwanda is now adjusting, sending the fielder at deep mid-wicket in the last 3, and a long one in play. If they can get anything close to 40 without losing any other wicket, you would feel they've done a tremendous job. Is the Zimbabwe under-19s. A lovely shot, great cutter on the occasion. And she picks up yet another boundary, back-to-back boundaries here from beloved Biza.
This is real quality again, just slightly over pitch, extending her hands. That's class act. Anywhere in the world, this is quality. You can't take anything away from this lady, beloved Biza, and if you're not following this game, you're not watching it, you're missing the best of it. Let's hope she stays through this for Zimbabwe on the brilliant sweep there, just paddling it. Finds the gap again. Will that go all the way? The chase is on. No, it won't, but brilliant running between the wicket. Oh, this is very good cricket. She's got 10 already in this over. 12 runs already in this over. This has proven to be an expensive over. Rosine just drifted down the leg stump line, but again, see this setup. The setup for me is what makes her great here. And that brings us to the end of the 6th over. Score is 39 for 1. Because Peter will be joining me in the comes box. Batting card for you there is below Biza, 27 of 17 deliveries. And Tabiwa Garusa, 12 of 15, 5 boundaries there. The strike rate 158, very promising. No extras. Bowling card for you. Then is the only one with the wicket, 1 for 11 after 2 overs, 7 dead balls there. Economy rate of 5.
Good enough, the captain to have taken a wicket, but it is not seen to have destabilized the batting tactics of the Zimbabwe 19s. Below Biza still there, maintaining consistency, and so far is helping and push up. This is very, very impressive. 39 96 overs, and on the 19th side against the senior women's side. Is on strike. Hasn't really had a bat is in this tournament, and today she is here building up a partnership. It's already a 38-1 partnership with below Biza. 12 all for bat so far.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bob and Andy, for taking us through the power play. And great to be here. If you are just listening to me for the very first time, my name is Chinua Jidagba. And this is the blockbuster fixture between the Rwandan cricket national team, champions of 2022, and Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team, who are making their debut at this tournament. The 5th edition of the Patricia Chipo Kambarami Cup.
Beautifully driven into the gap, into the space. It is the end of the power play, and the fielder now answering the foul circle in the longer region and blocked without ball properly. And below Biza, he is keeping the ball taken. She and Tadiwa are taking the game slowly now, but they are at an advantage. Cuts it into the gap is the fielder. Yes, there is, and a deep point. Into the gap, but it's on strike as soon as she comes. It is one more ball to one. Ball side over 42 on the ball, 2 for below Biza. I'm putting something beautiful there since Tadiwa came in. We used to see a batting full of the likes of Nicolette, Beloved, Biza, Christina and Lorraine. This time Tadiwa was pushed ahead of them, and that decision seems to have paid off tactically. It is the end of the 7th over again, 42 on the board for 1.
And at this stage, the projected score is 120 because the current run rate is 6.00. I recall Peter having a conversation with Bisembentu Shi Mapusa, the captain of Team Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team, and she spoke to me that our target after winning the toss and electing to bat is to score 150 and above. And speaking with the captain of Team Rwanda, Bimeimana Maridiani, she said what they intend to do is to reduce their opponent to anything below 100. But as it stands, beloved Biza and Tadiwa are putting on a decent shift in the batting crease.
We did know that there was a score to settle between both teams. Rwanda has completely dominated this tournament since they started playing. That is 6 straight international wins in a row. 4 straight in this tournament. They've not lost to everything. Everything have something in common, and that is the fact that they not lost to this Rwandan side. And going into the final, especially with that big win yesterday, for the first time in this tournament, we saw 2 teams put on 2 centurions, and 2 that came from 2 youngsters, finally having posting their highest total over 111, and below just following closely. She was 1 behind, but she's still above in total runs scored by a batter in this tournament. But like I said, records have been broken. This is a battle of 2 top sides right now, 2 teams that are holding that highest team individual score in T20 Nigeria Women's Invitational, and we expect to see a battle. And so far we are getting that battle from these 2 sides.
You can say that again. She has come from the Court of Appeal side. Henriette Teres in Shimwe, vastly experienced, and bringing all her experience to the fore. And after 4 balls in this 8 over, no run has been made by the Zimbabwean under-19 cricket team, but more importantly, making things difficult for Tadiwa in the batting crease.
On the leg side, and swap moving to leg, but there is no power there, and there is over 1. Lovely call by Tadiwa, 2-2 below to stay on strike. All the issue is really good for Mexico. We have lost the wicket and broken this partnership that is looking to be very productive. And let's not forget, Lorraine, who hit a 50 against Ghana just 2 days ago before the Wednesday, is still outside, as well as the very explosive Christina. So they still have Arsenal in the bag for this Zimbabwe under 19. Lovely driven leg drive, and that is 1, 2, and the 8 over. 44 on the board, and just 1 wicket so far.
You can say that again, Peter, but the lady who just finished from the Court of Appeal end, Henriette Teres Ishimwe, vastly experienced, good over. She had only 2 runs considered in that over, but it's imperative to state there that she has the best bowling figures at this invitational tournament. I don't mean this year, but in year 2023, where Nigeria won, Henriette Ishimwe against Ghana had 4 wickets in 4 runs played off her in 2.3 overs, and she went 1 further against Cameroon, where she took 5 wickets for 6 runs in 2.3 overs. So Henriette Ishimwe, the captain, had to bring her as quickly as possible when things are not going according to plan. So Alice Ikuze is back at the pavilion end.
Flicks it to the leg side as the fielder give a chase. Does he get to the ropes? Yes, he does. Beloved Biza, he's not slowing down. She's picking our spots and finding it. And now the Rwandans have a battle in their hands. But if you flick to the leg side, the toughest game that the Rwandan side has played so far was the game against the South Africa under 19, where they needed the last over to claim victory. And so far, this is proving to be another very difficult return fixture.
Much better bowling there from Alice Ikuze. Great comeback from her, ensuring that beloved Biza didn't score any run off that ball.
Again, face to the leg side, this time to the square leg, and they will settle for 1. Tadiwa is now on strike.
3 balls in, at least Ikuze. Quartier, does he put the gap? No, he doesn't. But there was enough, and there was an opportunity for 41, and they take it. That is one more run. This strike rotation between Tadiwa and below Biza had been very interesting to watch. 15 of 25 for Tadiwa. That has not had too many innings to bat and not too many chances to score runs. And that one will bring up the half-century partnership for this duo. It is 51 on the board already for the young lady Chevrons, and 50 years partnership beating these two beloved. Registering 34 of that, and Tadiwa with 15 of that. 8.5 is complete. One more ball for Alice Ikuze to Tadiwa. And that ball will end in a dot. It is 51 still on the board for 1 wicket lost and 9 overs completed.
Thank you very much, Peter. Let me just put out a few statistics out there. The last time we had the Nigerian Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament was back in 2024. We had 4 teams then, and that's the first time we'll be having only 4 teams. Tanzania making their debut at that tournament. Our sisters Rwanda were there, Sierra Leone was there, and of course Nigeria, the host country. And see that partnership again, beloved Biza and Nicolete Nyika did not produce anything. 5 balls they faced, 1 run they scored. But between beloved Biza and Tadisa Garutsa is giving us 50. But quick one there, Tanzania eventually emerged the champions of that tournament because we had 4 teams. And the best batter of the tournament then was the opening batter of Team Tanzania, Sam Mtei, who scored 203 runs in all the matches that she played. As we speak, beloved Biza has surpassed that record by virtue of scoring 35 runs in addition to the 170 that she has. For those of you who are proponents of mathematics, that's already on 205, and she's still batting 15 shots of her century. Will she achieve it today? Time will tell.
Thank you very much for that statistic, Shehu Majidawa. It looks like it is still going to keep increasing, as now she is off strike, adding 1 more run to the Zimbabwe batting squad. This partnership doesn't look to be breaking anytime soon. Wicket in the first over of this game, and they've gone on to play the 2 wickets, 2 and 40 wickets, almost into the drinks break. And today, and beloved are still the batting partnership. A lot of work to be done by the Rwanda bowlers. They were able to pick the partnership in the first over, and since then they've come up with every type of ball, but it is just not enough to break this partnership. That does not look to be backing down anytime soon. Goes big up in the air. Is it a catch? No, it is not. Miscalculated by the fielder. She went beyond the ball for that catch attempt. The Lord adds 4 more runs, 40 for the batter, much to the disappointment of the field inside Rwanda. We look at that ball again on the replay. It was full length, that weight. A miscalculation by the fielder trying to get under the ball backfires. And not only was the catch opportunity lost, but a boundary was conceded, and that was 4 more runs off 1 ball. Below is still batting.
Again, you can talk about the sensible batting that we are seeing from beloved Biza. Seems as if she's understanding how this ground is playing now, and she's giving us her best. The highest we ever saw in this tournament since it got started was Sam Mtei, the opening batter of Tanzania, who scored 86 not out, and that was against their opponent Sierra Leone. But as we speak now, we have seen batters score centuries. Records have been broken, and it looks as if everybody was waiting for this tournament, especially the 5th edition. It's the end of the 10th over. We are getting into drinks break, and that over of Henriette Teres Ishimwe has brought us to the end of the 10th over. 59 runs for loss of 1 wicket. Beloved Biza on 41 facing 28 balls. Tadiwa Garutsa 17 of 28. And I must say, once again, you cannot take anything away from the bowling of Henriette Ishimwe. She has the best bowling figures in this tournament. I recall in 2023, that was against Ghana. She had 4 wickets, considered only 4 runs in 2.3 overs. But what did she do against Cameroon? She just got angry and took it 1 notch higher. 5 wickets, 6 runs in 2.3 overs. And that is it for you, beloved Biza, on 41 runs from 28 balls. Nicolete Iyika didn't do anything with the bat. Only 4 runs she faced, 4 balls she faced. He didn't score any run. And of course, Tadiwa Garutsa, 28 balls she has faced, 17 runs. It calls for a bit of introspection, and that's why the coach Leonard Namburo is having a conversation with Team Rwanda that you must do better. Same way, the umpires are also having their own conversation. The bowling figures right before you: Bimeimana Maridiani, 2 overs, 1 wicket, 11 runs. She joins Peace Hussein as the leading bowlers in this tournament. Rosie Nirera, 3 overs, she has bowled 19 runs, no wicket. Belize Murekatete, 1 over, bowled 9 runs, no wicket. Alice Kuzwe, 2 overs, bowled 5 dot balls, 10 runs, no wicket. And Henriette Terese Ishimwe, 2 overs, bowled 6 dot balls, 9 runs. And to show you how important this game is, Peter, they say desperate times call for desperate measure. I've not seen Coach Leonard Namburo get into the center, but he had to go there because he knew that things are not going according to plans.
Yeah, previous results before this fixture do not matter in this round. They won the group, but that doesn't mean that they cannot be eliminated. And it would not speak well of the team if they, after 4 matches in a row, beating every team, including the Zimbabwe U19, to not go on and not make the finals. And now they understand that this is the much bigger test than any match that they've played so far coming into this moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rosette gets the wicket of Tadiwa Shiwamana. Rosette strikes, and I've always said it, Peter, that drinks break does one thing. It's either it re-energizes the batting side to keep going, or it makes the bowling side have what they call a self-introspection. And you want to say that the words of wisdom that the coach delivered, it could be an head dryer and it could be an encouragement, has yielded positivity.
And when you look at that ball again, I think that ball was a very tricky ball and a late reaction from the batter. Tadiwa saw that ball, kept into space. There was so much gap between that bat and pad, and that ball found its way in there, dislodging the bills. And now they are down a wicket. 15-run partnership was looking very fruitful. If you look at how they've gone on so far, it was Tadiwa being on the defensive side, white beloved exploded and found the spaces to keep the run sticking. And now she's paired with another batter that she spent most of her batting innings with against Ghana, when hitting half a century 2 days ago. And now she's here to try and put up something similar, if not more, against this Rwanda side. back edge of the bat and flicks to the leg side. Quick one, quick call by beloved Biza. She comes on strike. Levin already has to the board. 60 already. That has 3 more balls than runs. It's still very decent score by the Zimbabwe under 19.
Sensible bowling from Shimwamana Rosette coming from the pavilion end, delivering the goods. We are approaching the 11th over. One more good ball to be bowled. And what a brilliant over that also saw a wicket. Fantastic bowling there from Shiwamana. 1 over bowled, 1 wicket got in. And we've come to the end of the 11th over. 60 runs for loss of 2 wickets. The current run rate is 5.45 and the projected score at this stage is now 109. It's dropped a bit, and I recall having a conversation with the captain of Team Zimbabwe under 19 cricket team, Bizambento Oshi Mapusa, saying our target is 150, and the reason was very simple. When these two teams met last week Saturday, the 21st day in the 3rd month in year 2026, Team Rwanda batted first and scored 143 runs for loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs, and Zimbabwe combined to score 83 all out, which was a bad day at the office in 13.4 overs. And Gijel Ishiwe, for me that day, did well with the bat by scoring 40 runs from 32 balls, which included 6 fours and a strike rate of 125.00.
Yeah, sure. I also like to let you know that this is the first time in this tournament that Rwanda have lost a toss, and it's the first time that they have come in to field first over that match. They've put the runs on the table today. Except for the game against Nigeria, but today they've come in now and they'll be looking to put their score as high as possible against Nigeria. They should get Nigeria to just 90 runs. On the leg side and flicked. It races all the way to the boundary. There is no further in that deep, and Lorraine already has herself a boundary. Just few balls after coming in. Look at that replay again. A ball was going to his leg side and was beautifully swept. That is 4 more runs for the Zimbabwe under 19. The runs are going high. And it's 2 wickets, just 2 wickets they've lost so far. It's an impressive comeback from the Zimbabwe under 19. Looking at how underperforming, but they've not really ticked in terms of with the barrack, contrary to 2 days ago. And now they look to be continuing on that form, which is good if you ask me.
I agree with you. Giovanni Suwase bowling for the very first time, and the first ball was sent to the boundary, a place where she didn't want to. But this is much better from her coming back from that boundary where she was dispatched. And only 2 teams in this tournament have chased a run and eventually won. Nigeria did it against South Africa under 19 cricket team, and they also did it against this Zimbabwe under 19 cricket team. And the other team to do it is Team Rwanda against Nigeria, where they won convincingly by 6 wickets, chased down the 90 runs that Nigeria put up, which was a very low total in the real scheme of things when it comes to T20. Brilliant bowling there from Giovanni Siwase, coming from the Court of Appeal end. Again, sent to a region where she will have to give the fielder much stress to do, and all chase ended in futility. 2 boundaries in that over. See that again on replay. Going down the leg side where there is no protection, and just allowing Fanny to sprint and show her skills in terms of her strength and endurance. I don't mean endurance of him, but the real endurance.
Rwanda who breaks to break this partnership. This partnership, the last time against Ghana, went all out and set a new tournament best record. Today they are here again, 2 wickets down, and Lorraine is already 9 runs in. A wide ball, and that is another run. 68 runs already on the board. If you include that wide, that is 69, and it's just one more ball. And we've seen just how effective the bowling of this young lady chevrons are, and very, very tight with the ball. Yes, you do understand that the Zimbabwe batters are capable, but if the runs are more than 120, it is still going to be a little bit of a tight game going into the second inning. 12 innings completed so far. It is 69 on the board, 2 wickets lost.
Lauren Pemiwa is on over 100% strike rate. Faced 7 balls and scored 9 runs, which included 2 boundaries, dispatching Giovannis Uwase. And the beloved Biza has slowed down a bit. 41 runs from 31 balls. The projected score is 115 because their current run rate is 5.75. Again, she's back, unexpectedly so. The captain will have to bring her back because she did well in the previous over. Rosette.
Giovanni picked up, has been very good with the ball, and so far she's given out only 9 runs, but she's bowling to be beloved Biza Rossetti. Picked up into that deep region. There's a deep wicket in place. Beloved Biza wanting to double on that. Lorraine not feeling comfortable and confident enough, wanting to be on the safe side as she is now on strike. Still 1 shy of a double figure for herself, but she's been very good, over 100% strike rate. She's at a comfortable position now, but there's still a lot of work to be done, and so far it looks like they are on the track to executing it. Over the infield, does it race to the boundary? Yes, it does. Oh no, it doesn't. Slow down, just close to the end of the circle. And they take fast runs. Rainbees are already into double figure. At slow down while taking those runs, she felt that ball was already at the boundary ropes. But much to her disapproval, it is just close to one. She will settle for 1 run less. 3 runs completed in that of that ball. And Beloved will be on strike. Close to the 50-run mark where it's Beloved Biza. Met that ball before the first bounce, and she will go off strike as soon as she's left. Lauren's been excellent, 12 runs off 8 balls, and is on strike and looking to continue from where she stopped in the previous game against Ghana. Swoops it down the leg over the infield, chases it. This time does she find the ropes? Yes, she does. For more runs and 4 necessary runs, who else if not Lorraine?
The replay says it all. Shiwamana Rosette was very good in her first over, where she got a wicket of Tadiwa and also gave away just 1 run. But now she's yet to complete this over, and already she's given away 9 runs, included 2 boundaries.
back to the bowler and ending the over. It is 78 on the board for 2 wickets lost after 13 overs.
The captain tried from the pavilion end, got a wicket, and that was the wicket of Nicolete. She's gone back to the Court of Appeal end to see whether luck can smile on her. She's tied on the same wicket with Peace Hussein of Nigeria. Even then, she has played one more game. Poor fielding there to give one more run to the runs that they already have. And now they are on 79.
Comes full and driven to the leg side of the back foot. It is Lauren, not bothered, and they complete 2 runs by the umpire. Fast movement from the 2 batters. There is that ball all to the way to the leg side. Long on, couldn't come in time, and they took advantage of that time lap and taking 2 runs. 81 is on the board. And they are not slowing down anytime soon. It is the young lady she runs, Lorraine, facing the 3rd ball this over. This time she doesn't make contact and she will walk back to the pavilion. 18 off 12 ball, and Bimeimana Meridiani has the last laugh.
And that takes her wicket 1 above Peace Hussein. See that again on replay. Had no answer to that bowling, and out goes Lauren Pemiwa. It was almost looking like there was going to be a run-out opportunity from the previous ball, but beloved Biza survived that scare.
Already they are on fine form, and she will look to build up another partnership with Below Biza started this inning with the first ball, batted from the first ball, and has seen 3 partnerships broken. This time the new batter is Christina Mutasa. Christina Mutasa is in the batting scorecard in the top 5 batters of this tournament. There are 2 Zimbabwe batters there, a Nigerian, a South African, and as well as the Rwandan Fanny Utagushimanidi.
Yeah, quick one about Christina Mutasa. After 4 rounds of matches, she has a strike rate of 123.60, 101 runs, and in spite of their 60-run loss against Team Rwanda, she was the best batter across the 2 teams, scoring 41 runs off 27 balls, which included 5 fours and 2 sixes with a strike rate of 151.85. But now she has to have a taste of what Bimeimana Maridiane is doing from the Court of Appeal end.
88 T20 wickets already for Marie. Considering how long she's been in this team and being a captain, there was a period where she was captain for 99 plus games, 99 games and counting for this Rwandan side, never missing a match. One of the most consistent players in this team. Prior to this tournament, I think she was also in the batting category. She was in the top 13, top 12 batters, youngest batters to score a T20 century, up until Fanny came, broke that record, put herself in first place, and sending Mary Diane just one step further back.
81 runs, 3 wicket loss. The wicket of Nicolete, Lauren Pemiwa, Tadiwa, and batting now is Christina Mutasa, who is here to score any run. Beloved Biza is 6 short of half century, but she continues to pull away from the others as far as the batting scorecard is concerned. The projected score will be 116 because the current run rate is 5.79, except something drastic is done, and this will fall short of the wish of Captain Busembetosi Mapusa, who is saying we want 150 runs above to stand a good chance to say yes, we want to defend.
Off the back foot into the gap, and there is a fielder in place. A little bit of fumble, and they will take advantage of that and add one more run. Should have been 1 run that they will settle with, but that chance gave them a chance to double it up, and that is 2 more runs for the young lady chevrons.
It's 4 short of half century. Will he achieve it in this over? There are still 5 more balls to be bowled, but Alice Ukuze body behind the ball and doing everything humanly possible to ensure that this is not achieved in this over. She's yet to get a wicket, but she's trying her best possible to get one.
Yeah, if you look at Alice, she has slowed down. Oh, picked up beautifully. Does it get to the boundary? No, it doesn't. Ariete is the fielder long gone. Will stop that ball after the first bounce. Beautifully picked, but not the right amount of contact power put behind it, as that ball could only just go above the air outside of the 30-yard inner ring before landing down outside of the circle, the inner circle to be precise. Forced to play off the back foot. It is Christiana. Oh, take that single. She found space from that tight bowling angle and takes a serve or strike. Below Biza has had to slow down on her explosiveness, seeing 3 partnership been broken down, and we cannot rely on the middle order to come and take this game beyond the reach of Rwanda. So she has to stay as long as possible and hope to finish off this game. That is a thought. That ball is 1 more ball. It is to end day 15th over, 85 on the board. This is a very good performance from the young lady chevrons. And end to the 15 over it is 85 on the board still, and 3 wickets lost.
Brilliant over from Alice Kuzwe, though she's yet to get a wicket, but they will be happy that beloved Biza is still batting, and Christina Mutasa yet to hit the bullseye. The projected score has dropped to 113 because the current run rate is at 5.67. Only 2 players at this tournament has batted from ball 1 to the final ball, which is also a record. Never has this tournament witnessed that. I told you, I said the highest we've seen in this Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational was Sao Mte, opening batter for Tanzania in 2024, where they match champions, where she scored 86 not out. But we've seen Fanny and beloved Biza bat from ball 1 to the final ball, up in the air. Is he safe? Ladies and gentlemen, dropped catch, but the effort definitely is quite appreciated. Run chance, and the square leg umpire is looking at what is happening, but the main umpire who sees it all is saying she's in. Oh my word, that was an effort that is quite appreciated. I'm sure the team will not bat an eyelid that she dropped that catch. She made a brilliant effort.
That ball was stuck in the air and taken down. The fielder just didn't reach it there and couldn't be under it and had to stretch, which also was a disadvantage. This time it is Beloved with the attempt. Ball doesn't get it. Christina with that previous attempt, and they took 3 runs off that ball before Beloved came and tried to replicate that. She this time around bouncing just outside of the inner ring, and she escapes the scare. 48 already, 2 shy of half a century, and Christina is back on strike. This time around it is sent to the leg side, and another dropped catch. Maximum call by the umpire, 2 hands in the air, and finally they find that space that they were looking for. Opened up already, was waiting for that ball and just fed off the first pitch.
I think height was also a factor. The person who was at that region, Belize Mrikitete, Rwanda have been very good up until this moment, but things I don't see Rwanda do are the things I'm seeing them doing today. Misplaced fielding, body language not suggesting they are ready for today's game. Except something changes, this is looking more like a bad day at the office for team Rwanda. I've seen them gone on break before. Oh, lovely piece of fielding there, but it seems as if the break for yesterday was just too much of an enjoyment that made team Rwanda not to do what we know them to do. We've come to the end of the 16th over, 99 for loss of 3 wickets, and the current run rate has gone up 6.19. The projected score is 124. Christina Mutasa is getting into the groove. First maximum, we scored 14 off 9, and Beloved Biza is just 2 short of half century.
The rounds is currently at 99 with still 7 wickets in hand, 4 overs to go. We're about to see more explosive prowess from this young lady chevrons as they going into the final 2 overs of this game. If these 2 wickets are still there, there's going to be much more kind. No, I said no. I'm acknowledging the fact that there are 4 overs to go.
Yeah.
When we get to the final 2 overs, there's going to be a lot more explosion from the young lady chevrons, and the Rwanda bowlers will need to deal with that as soon as possible. Powerfully driven to the leg side.
Oh my word! Let's get up for Beloved Biza scoring a half century and continue to show us that she's clear and above every other person. But the bigger thanks must go to Endurance and Bob, who gave us the opportunity to give Beloved Biza the opportunity to smell her flowers. See that again on replay. It is a sharp contrast to what I see of a certain Henriette Shimwe. She does better than this, but again.
Finding the gap again, it is Beloved Biza, and it is back-to-back boundary. A beautifully leg-driven short of the previous ball, and now caught it. Beautifully, coverly driven into the gap, and it is back-to-back for already. There was a slow run rate, and now as of the end of the 16th over, the required run rate started at 123, and now just 2 balls into the 17th over, it is already at 131. The runs are going up. The young lady chevrons are so motivated. Yesterday's race, they gave everybody a chance to go back to the drawing board. It seems like the Zimbabwe under 19s actually did sit down and scrutinize themselves and understood where they were falling short of. Does he find the boundary again? No, it doesn't. A big stop in the ropes. Giovanni's was the fielder. This is, I think, for a very long time now, this is the best fielding attempt we've seen in a while. As every fielding attempt, I've seen the fielder struggle to pick up the ball at one try. Nice stop at the boundary. I would acknowledge that. 2 runs off that ball. Ricochets the ball off our body. It is a chance, and they take a run off it. The runs are taken right now. 110. 2 more balls to go to end the 17th over, and that's 3.2 more overs to go. Giselle Shungwe, the fielder at mid-wicket, is not leaving any stones unturned, as she's putting her body on the line to reduce the runs that are going up. This time plays it to deep square leg, but there's the fielder in place, stopped at the rope this time around, and they will settle for 1 run. It is the end of the 17th over, 111 for 3 wickets lost.
Let me just bring on the duo of Endurance of Fame, and of course Bob Bashir Songa. But Rosin Herrera was one of the best bowlers in 2024. Unfortunately, things did not go according to plans as far as bowling is concerned. So they will take us through the end of the remaining that we have. Welcome, 2 captains, and out goes 2 guys who were not captains.
Thank you very much, Ajidagba, and good afternoon, our viewers and all over the world. It's been interesting times here. We've seen the beauty of beloved Biza, 59 of 45 deliveries, and supported by Christiana, 15 of 11. And this is going to be an interesting game we have in our hands. 140, 150. Bob, what do you think?
Oh, we have a game in our hands as we see Alice Ikuzo coming in to finish her spell from the Court of Appeal end into the pitcher. Flat batted from Christina Mutasa. Another fumble from the fielder in the deep, allowing these two to pick up a double. The last time we were in the commentary box, Endurance, I'll tell you the Rwandans have given all the love to beloved Visa, getting to that. Of course, once again, another half century, 59 so far of 45. She was put down twice. And the misfields are giving her a lot of boundaries. Not the best of days we've seen the Rwandans in the field. 113 for 3 after 17.2. You'd feel that the young lady chevrons, if they don't get to that 140 as you mentioned earlier, they will be beating themselves up. Change of pace again, a tattoo on the occasion from Alice Ikuze, who's been very, very, very tidy in her bowling. She's gone for only 16 in her 3.3. Yet to pick up a wicket, but this time they need more dot balls. Up against the red-hotted Christina Mutasa and beloved Biza. Once again, Christina scored 40 runs against the Rwandans in the first game. Short again, you would feel she's missed out on that opportunity. Is Christina Mutasa.
You can see clearly the restlessness of beloved Biza. Just get off strike, perhaps. That's the instruction going to her. You have about 14 deliveries left in this innings. And you need to take advantage as much as you can. I think this has proven to be a very good over. They will run the single now. Beloved back on strike. It's good to see the Zimbabwean under 19 in this position, just at 6.3 and over. 128 is projected, but I see more than that, depending on how the next 13 balls go. With Beloved on strike, 59 of 45. And she's controlled her innings genuinely and interestingly today. Ability, she gets on strike. Does she want a second? No is the call. They're going for it. Run out opportunity. This is brilliant running. They get that too. I would have thought Beloved would have to wait on the other side and continue facing. But that's the end of the 18th over. The score now is 116 for the loss of 3 wickets. It's Beloved and Christiana who will continue. That's a batting partnership for you again. Is Beloved Biza and Tidawa Garusa, 58 of 57 deliveries, with Beloved contributing 40 of 27 and Tadiwa 17 of 30. Well, that didn't really get going much, but the current partnership is on 33 of 27 deliveries.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to bowl. As we see there on our screens, it's going to be none other than the captain to bowl the penultimate over. She's been the pick of the bowlers from the Rwanda national side. Picked up 2 wickets, went for only 14 in her 3 overs. Christina Mutasa on the other hand, and beloved Biza, they would love to capitalize and try and finish on a high. So far we've seen Brazil chasing down that 100 and that game of Brazil and the Nigerians, 133. It wasn't an easy day in the office, as of course the game went down to the super over. So you will understand anything close to that 130 can be a very, very big task to the Rwandans. It is a knockout stage.
She goes big, but this time the fielder long gone, Henriette. We just make sure it's a single. This is Wu, Zimbabwean under 19 once on strike. Beloved Biza, that should be the person facing the next 11 deliveries. And they have to think and calculate how this should be. She's got the ability. Field placement here is long off, long on, deep mid wicket. These are the boundary fielders, everyone in the ring, and then these extra covers. She goes big, but that kept it hard low. You know she has to go as big as possible. It's a dot ball now. And she has to control this innings from this moment. Everything from this moment is as important as your 3 square meals daily.
Interesting field. You would expect, of course, the captain to bowl a lot of slow balls in this, in the next 4 balls. Given that third man is inside the ring. Apisha, there's a fielder under that one. One bouncer. Sloppy again as they pick up yet another boundary. The fielding has been poor for the Rwandans. Not the happiest is the captain walking back, of course. But they don't mind these boundaries coming in handy as they are trying to finish on a high.
Again, that's it. You know she's going to go big and went really, really big, wide-ish of the deep mid-wicket fielder. But she made a mess of that one. It's another boundary for Beloved and Zimbabwe under 19. She moves on to 65 now. With a score on 121, we have a good game in our hands this morning.
Now the best of days are from the experienced players of the Rwanda national team. The likes of Ariete Ishimwe, Mutoni Wase Clarice, Belize Mlekatete and Giselle Ishimwe, who have given away boundaries with ease at the boundary ropes. You should expect them to, given of course that it's a knockout stage, to bring their A game. Another big shot, but this time around, not enough timing. Sloppy again, can they pick up a double? Yes, they will with ease. The running between the wickets have been tremendous from the young lady chevrons.
Sloppy fielding in the last 2 balls. 1 run given away and another 2 given away. 3 runs given. And this will come back to haunt Rwanda if they're not careful.
Not only that, 2 runs, I'll tell you every time they've given out a boundary at the boundary ropes. It's supposed to be a single, which turned out to be boundaries. 34 runs are given in the field. Could be very costly. Up and over. There's a fielder who gives it a chase. What a good take from Giovannis, who had to cover a lot of ground. It is the big wicket, of course, over Beloved Biza once again. The captain, Unenyimana, picking up a 3rd wicket. 67 or 50 deliveries. You feel she's done a tremendous job. Is the leading run scorer in the tournament as so far as she walks back to the dugout. Leaving aside on 123 for the loss of 4.
That show again in the replay. It was Jeff for the take. Didn't really get hold of it. And a brilliant run and covered some decent yards to ensure that made it look simple. 123 for 3 after 18.4. Below would depart for 67. Very good knock, yeah. Hopefully this will be enough to make Zimbabwe the happy team this afternoon. It's the captain, Diane, just thinking she's got in a 3rd wicket today.
That wicket for the captain, as she would love to close off this penultimate over without leaking a lot of runs. 123 for the loss of 4. Gonna be a very, very good game in the 2nd innings, given that, of course, the young lady chevrons have very good collective bowlers, left arm quicks and left arm spinners. Change of pace as she closes off the penultimate over, picking up the big wicket over Beloved Biza as we get into the last 6 deliveries of our first semi-final live here at the Tafawa Balewa Square. 123 for 4. Stay moving at 6. How many more can they add in the last 6 deliveries?
$123 now. Another 10-12 will make this an interesting game. 120 just might not be enough. Now will be required 6.5 and over to chase.
Henriette Ishimwe will be bowling the last 6 deliveries. She's now had the best of days in the office. Went for 23 in her 3. yet to pick up a wicket. Not the best of tournaments, you would say, given, of course, that she loves bowling at these particular pitches. Starts off with one outside off stamper. Dot ball to start the last over, of course, from the Rwandans.
She's got a smooth and rhythmic run up. She just have to stay just on that foot stump line to keep Christiana guessing. She struggled when it's outside the off stump. This time she goes full and Christiana goes big. And we chase 2 runs there. Usually it's been very difficult time in the field today for the Rwandans.
A very good effort there from Alice Ikuze, who had to cover a lot of ground, saving her team 2 runs. Erete Ishim, on the other hand, shot number 50, she should be one of the players to watch out for in the second innings, given that she picked up her form with the bat against the female Yellow Greens. With that player of the match, of course, 7 boundaries in her cameo. Takes a little shimmy, swing and a miss. Very good bowling there from Ariete Ishim, drawing back her line and length.
She's a smart cricketer. She hasn't just been lucky, but it was good to see that form against Nigeria. Hopefully it turns up today again. Making big statements here for their countries. A good exposure here for the Zimbabwean under 19 side. This time swings across. Just another single, once a second. They're running hard. Will it be a brilliant run in there? Not out is the call. Again, sloppy fielding. That should have been quicker. And hopefully.
Straight to the captain herself. Not the best of the days they have had in the field, given that this is a team ranked 25th in the world. They have another big tournament back in their country at the Rwandans, the Challenge, the Women's Challenge League. Shot of the occasion into the vacant region for a boundary. Very, very well played by Christina Mutasa.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Look at it again. Just on that leg stump line. And she goes, waited, knew she was going to go across it. And she's moved on to 27 now. 131 already. Last ball. Graham Shaw this time finds the gap. Will it go all the way? It seems like big chase. No, it is a much needed boundary. 144 runs for the loss of 4 wickets after 20 overs. 135. This is going to be a good game we have in our hands. A real test now for Rwanda. But they have the ability. They have what it takes. They have the players. They have the experience to chase it down. But time will tell. Zimbabwe under 19 in a very good position presently.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the last boundary outside off. Opened up that full facer. She had created room way early. No chance whatsoever for Giovanni Swa to cover a lot of ground, but in vain as they close off. Of course, there are a lot of 20 overs at the Zimbabwe under 19s. 67 once again from beloved Biza, playing a crucial hand of 50 deliveries, 10 boundaries, 17 from Tadiwa. And a very good contribution from Lorraine and Christina Mutasa, who stayed not out for her. 31 over 23 with the maximum and 2 boundaries. 2 extras being bowled by the Rwandans. A little very good disciplined bowling, you would say, but 135 they'll need in the second innings to see if they can stay unbeaten and make it to the finals.
The captain herself led the pack, but I'll talk about Alice Ikuze. Though didn't get a wicket, that economy rate of 4.75. And also Rosette, 5 economy rate. Skipper herself, 3 for 21 of 4 overs with 14 dot balls. Match summary for you, beloved Biza, coming from our century. 67 of 50 deliveries, Christiana, 31 of 28. Lorena Pahiwa, 18 of 12. Is Maria Adien, the skipper, 3 for 21 from 4. Shuamana Rosette, 1 for 10 of 2. Rosin not for 31 of 4. 135 for 4 it is. See you at the second innings.
The second inning is about to get underway. Zimbabwe under 19 winning the toss in the first inning and electing to bat first, putting up 135 on the board for 4 wickets, sending Rwanda for the second inning to chase, needing 136 to pick up a victory and the finals ticket. Coming in to open batting for the Rwandan side, Irubi Gizeli Shimwe and Fanny Utagushimanide consistently bring the opening pair for this team, and the opening bowler as well for the young lady chevrons will be none other than Captain Ruben Kosi Mapusa.
Giselle and Ufani Utagushima opening the batting for Rwanda. They need 136 in their allotted 20 overs if they are to be the first team, of course, to be in the finals of the 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's Invitational T20 Patricia Kambarami Cup, up against the re-ordered young lady chevrons. Started off with a spinner in their first encounter, but this time round it's going to be pace, left arm quick, coming in from the pavilion end. The captain herself taking matters into her own hands, bowling the first over of the chaser. Maposa up against her. Giselle Ishimwe, fast ball. Loud appeal on the occasion, but this time around the umpire says not out. Leg by signaled. Very good bowler she's been in this tournament. A lot of left arm bowlers from the young lady chevrons should be a sign of worry to the Rwandans, given that in the first game they troubled them, especially the young Fanny Utagushima, who scored 6 over 19, if I'm not mistaken. Peter should love, of course, to forget that game, as this is a knockout stage. You snooze, you lose, they say.
Bilbankosi's best performance has come against this Rwandan side in the previous round of fixtures. She only has 1 wicket to her name, and that wicket came against this Rwanda side, as well as a maiden in throwers boat. She hasn't picked up a wicket, neither a maiden over in any other of 3 matches that she's played in. But against this Rwanda side, she's had a good record that she will look to maintain.
The running is going to be very key, as you see, of course, that single taken by Giselle Ishimwe. That awareness we saw in the first innings, the young lady chevrons are running in between the wickets, tucked away on the offside. 2 should be easy for these two. 2 runs in the end, but with Peter, that should have been 3 runs.
From that first attempt at a pickup, the momentum for any other runner died down and couldn't be reignited in time to taking that 3rd run. But you, as a batter, you have to always be ready for those slight chances. The young lady chevrons took advantage of that. Every fielding error, they took advantage of it, running in between the wicket as fast as they possibly can. There's a left start by this Rwandan side, but there's still a lot of balls, and the runs are still chaseable.
Third man and fine leg, the only 2 fielders outside the ring. Full again, but this time round plays it to the back foot, straight to the fielder at point. A dot ball. The running between the wickets and the partnerships again are going to be very, very, very key in this chase. Shot on the occasion, not enough timing from Giselle Ishimwe, trying to play to a deep square leg, but could only find the fielder at fine leg for another single. 5 runs coming off the first 5. She was the top scorer for the Rwandan side. The last time, of course, they played the young lady chevrons with 40 runs. They would love her to replicate anything close to that innings. Last ball goes on the back foot again. Wonderfully played by Fanny Utagushima, who is yet to get off strike. It's 5 for naught after 1. With no surprise, left arm quicker coming in from the Court of Appeal end. Christina Mutasa, she's done a tremendous job with the bat in hand to ensure they put on a commanding total in the first innings with her contribution, of course, and the partnership with beloved Biza. The big task ahead with the ball in hand. Left arm quick coming in from Court of Appeal end up against Giselle Ishimwe. She has a third man. Fine leg, sticking to the two fielders.
Back-to-back pace attack from the young lady Chevron and sport left-hand bowlers with Mapusa Benkosi taking the first charge in the over, giving out 5 runs. Now she's done very well with the back, Christina Mutasa, and she will look to complement that with the bowling, starting off the second over from the Court of Appeal end. Big bounce off that ball. That bounce took Giselle by surprise. Didn't expect that bounce to come so high. Surely when you look at that length that the ball had strike that.
We've seen, of course, when you look at that bounce, most of these wickets are double paced. So you do expect to see a little bit of extra bounce. Laula Peel again, very, very high. The umpire is not even interested in rushing her into the shoulder. Very good bowler she is. She loves setting up batters. She will give you a couple of deliveries that are swinging away from the right-handers, but she has a very good sharp in-swinger is Christina Mutasa.
Yeah, Gazelle was looking for likely bounce again. As that you look at the height of that bat, she was looking to go big on the leg side. Good decision to retract on time.
Down the leg side, wise on offer from Christina Mutasa. Unnecessarily done, you'd say. But again, when you look at the way Giselle Ishimwe is always batting, she's always trying to create room to access the offside. If she can nail in that nip back, you got to be very, very careful. Smart bowler, she's been. She was, of course, part of the side that played in the last year's Kwibuka tournament, so they know a thing or two, the likes of Giselle, Diarmi Menyimana, Ariet Ishimwe. Touch and go, nowhere to go, says the fielder at pointer. Should be a very good context, given that, of course, that some of the players are featured in the last year's Kwibuka tournament.
I remember seeing the likes of Bulebenko, Sima Prosa, and the likes of Christina Mutasa and beloved Biza featuring for the Zimbabwe margin. Confident enough to pick it in the air, and she sends it above the infielders. A first boundary for the Rwandan side, boosting their runs. A much needed boundary now, sitting at 10 runs. It's been long coming, and Christina was the victim. Played off the front foot, played high and high. Not a maximum, but a 4 runs is better than a dot.
Very good shot, you'd say there from Giselle. Picked up length quite early into the vacant lock on region, breaking the shackles. Last 2 balls to come. Pulls out on the last minute is the young Giselle Ishimwe. A lot of mind games you'd expect from this encounter.
The bowler's action was already in full play before Giselle stepped out. That would have been a tough decision for the umpire to call off it if he had dislodged the bills.
Very close call, you'd say there, Peter. Full on the occasion, lovely shot again. But the bowler herself did well to put some fingertips on that. That was struck powerfully from Giselle Ishimwe. Looking, of course, to play it behind the bowler down the ground. One of her favorite regions. Last ball to come in the second, already 10 runs on board.
A risky run for they get it, and now the run sits at 11 for no wickets lost, and it's 2 overs completed.
6 runs coming off the first over of Christina Mutasa. The first innings, of course, the young lady Chevrons found themselves right after the power play with the scoreboard reading 39 for 1. Team Rwanda would love to go past that or even get close to that without losing a lot of wickets in the power play. Maybe later, right after the power play, when the field is spread, they can chip in those doubles or even take the bad balls to the boundary ropes. Aposa will be bowling her second. No signs of spin. Delicately played there from Giselle Ishima using the pacer. Should be looking for the second miscommunication, but this time round they decide to settle with only 1 run.
Good thought of play by Giselle. The front side hasn't really been forthcoming, and the most logical thing to do was redirect that pace into a direction it was already heading towards, and just get yourself off that and let Fanny a chance to try and add more runs to the board. Fanny hasn't replicated that form from match day 1, but Rwanda has benefited from the fact that they are not just dependent on one batter. They have at least 6 capable batters in that team, and that has helped them pick up 4 victories in a row in this tournament going into this round of fixtures. And at this point, regardless of the fact that those 4 do not matter performance wise, they know that there is need to step up and match this performance of this young lady Chevrons.
Into the pads, works it on the onside. A lot of work to be done by the 3 fielders converging. And they will settle for only 2 runs once again. Should have been easy 3 runs for the young 2 batters at the crease. Giselle Ishimwe and Fanny Utagushima Ninde. Gonna capitalize given that they love pace on. You don't want to find yourself without a lot of runs right after the power play, given that the young lady Chevrons have 3 good spinners in their side. Those are 12 overs of spin. So you would expect the likes of Giselle to capitalize on the opening bowlers, Maposa and Christina Mutasa. Fall into the pads again. Straight to the fielder at a short mid-wicket, another dot ball.
Strategic return by the captain herself. Yes, 2 days ago in the game against Ghana, both opened the bowling and did not bowl again until the 19th over, and today she's here back to back and going heads on against this Rwanda batters, giving them a very, very difficult task in terms of combating our balls. Full length it is again, full length it comes, and Lorraine just doesn't hold on to that ball at the first pick, gives the Rwanda side a chance at a run. Good back up by Salem at mid-on region.
It's turning out to look like a day of misfields, Peter. We saw in the first innings the Rwandans giving away a lot of runs. Last ball to come from the captain Maposa. Loud appeal, but the umpire turns it down. Good presence of mind from the young Fanny Utagushima Ninde. Leg by signal by the umpire as we come to the end of the 3rd.
Most certainly was missing leg at that point. It is 16 runs for no wicket loss. Mind you, in the first inning, Zimbabwe under 19 were at this point of the game, but they had the wicket loss. 16 runs, they completed 3 overs with, and the 16 runs that Rwanda had with an advantage of a wicket.
Christina to bowl her second from the Court of Appeal end. Should be an interesting game, as we said earlier, given that, of course, the likes of Ishimwe Ariete picked up form in the other game. The big question here, Peter, is going to be, where is the captain going to bat? Up and over, save your legs, young lady. As she picks up her second boundary is Giselle Ishimwe with offer on the occasion. And she's been put under the pump from the very first ball of her second over.
It is still the same bowler has been used, and she's seen the line, she's seen the length. She understands just how tricky Christina Mutasa can be, and she anticipated that ball, and the ball just fell through to a rhythm, and she swung finding that space. And now Rwanda are building up advantage and momentum.
Shot again, Apish again. Should be a double. Very good over. It is turning out to be here for the Rwandans. But again, when you look at the way Christina Mutasa is bowling, given that Gisele Ishimwe is one of the players who are very good square the wicket, you want to see her targeting that top of off. Anything wide-ish, she will take you on. She has, yes, a third man in play, but again, that's too wide from Christina Mutasa. 6 runs coming off the first 2. Full up and over. Listen to the sound. 1 bouncer over the boundary ropes. She is toying with the field. The ease of the experienced Gisele Ishimwe. Full on that occasion, allowing her to free her arms. Pick the bounds out of that one. 1 bounce into the vacant long off region for a much needed boundary. Capitalizing on how many more runs can they get in the power play. This game can be either won in the power play or at the back end, and they're making sure they're moving at 7 runs and over. Is Giselle and Fanny Utagushima Ninde. Touch and go again, smartly done. Straight to the fielder at backward point from the young Giselle Ishimwe, who's putting on a show in the power play.
You can see the desperation on the face of Christina Mutasa. She desperately wants that wicket, but she's having a taste of her medicine. Was explosive with the bat against every bowler. She was very confrontational towards every ball, and now she's seeing just a mirrored play of her version. She's been bowling to Giselle, who has been aggressive towards her bowling. Fanny in strike, and Fanny finds the late edge towards the fielder at the deep. Couldn't be properly dealt with by the third man. A lot of fielding errors today, and this time around it is Rwanda who are beneficiaries of that boundary slip up. 4 more runs.
Full on the occasion outside off stamper, tries to play it over a long offer. Took that outside edge, but look at that from the fielder at that man, allowing a single to turn into a boundary. They don't mind that these runs coming in handy. Is Team Rwanda already into the 30s. 15 runs coming off the first 5 from Christina Mutasa. The big question here is when are they going to bring in the spinners who troubled the Rwandan batters in their first game. Sticking to the same field is Christina Mutasa up against the young Fanny Utagushima Ninde, who picked up her first boundary. Into the pads, make that 16 runs, and she will have to reball that. Expensive over, you'd say, from the young lady Chevrons.
A little bit under tension. She understands the runs. 135 is not that much of a run in a T20 format, especially when you consider the fact that just 120 balls and boundaries are very much likely. Under tension, here is the young bowler. A good end to the over, I would call it. A dot of the last ball keeps the runs at 32, but still no wickets lost for Rwanda. Still, no team has been able to play a complete 6 overs without losing a wicket. South Africa did it in the reduced over format when they played out, because the reduced over format saw the power play reduced from 6 to 4, and they were the only team to go beyond that. But in the proper and complete format, T20 format, no team has gone 6 overs completed without seeing a wicket drop. 4 overs completed, 2 more remains to see if Rwanda will break that jinx or the streak looks to continue.
16 runs coming off the 4th over. You'd say they've scored runs for the next 2 overs in the power play, given that they came into this chase needing only 6.5 runs and over. If they can, of course, chase down that 136. 32 for Nota. Last 2 overs in the power play, they would love to capitalize. If they can get to that 50 without losing a wicket or even 1 wicket, I don't mind. Gisele Ishimwe is on 20 of 16. She's had a very good first 4 overs. One of course, the players who love batting here at the Tafawa Balewa Square. She's scored plenty of runs. She is the leading run scorer in all editions. This being the 5th is the young Gisele Ishimwe. Spin straight up from the
Pavilion end starts off with the wide down the leg side. Salim Mutseka. Let's have a look at her fielder. She has a deep mid wicket and a long on. The only two boundary riders. Giselle Ishime would love to play it through cover region where there is no protection. Plays it on the up straight to the fielder at pointer. Good comeback, you'd say, from Salema.
The spin bowling department has been the most effective department for the Zimbabwe under-19. Was long coming, but it's not been a good start for Salem. She's coming 3 balls, but only one has been a legal delivery, which means that she has 5 more balls to go in this over. And she's already given out 2 free extras. The run rate is plummeting. Current strike rate is at 8.16 and the required run is only just 6.44. So if you look at it now, the Rwandan batters are overpayment in terms of meeting the runs needed per over.
Get something on it, Isa Giselle Ishime. A lot of work to be done once again, but in vain. She is looking very, very solid, Isa Giselle Ishime. She moves into 24 runs of her half track, I would say.
Of that replay, when one knee saw that bounce, the balls were actually very slow and turning into the bat, which she took advantage of. Beautifully played, beautifully swept by Giselle Ishimwe.
Would say very intelligently done. Shuffled across, got into a very good position, of course allowing her to play it into the deep square leg region where they have employed a fielder. Bring in, of course, long on. No ball signal by the umpire. Not the best of stats here, you'd say, from the young lady chevrons. A lot of extras and misfield, allowing the boundaries to keep flowing for Giselle Ishime and Fanny Utakushimaninde. 39 already. Spoke about how if they can get to that 50 in the power play, you'd feel into the driver's seat. Takes a little shimmy up. And over should be an easy double. The free hit goes for 2 runs.
Lucky Giselle Ishimwe. This is the 3rd no ball that Salem has bowled in this tournament, but one in the previous game against Ghana. And has already given that it is not something that you see too frequently from spin bowlers in terms of overstepping the line for the release of a ball, but it is the way it is, and Giselle was the beneficiary of that. Giselle's best performance has come in this tournament, in this edition to be precise, has come against the Zimbabwe side. In other games she's not been able to put on more than 14 runs, but against the Zimbabwe under 19, the previous round of fixtures, she had put up 40 of 32 balls. And in subsequent games, she's only been able to register 3, 6, and 2, respectively. But against this young lady chevron, she seems to find her rhythm, and so far she's taking advantage of it.
A pitch there from Fanuto Nimananinde as she loses her wicket. Is the youngster having faced, of course, 9 deliveries for her 7 is Salem this time around. Drawing first blood for the young lady chevrons. 42 for 1 after 4.5.
Look at that ball. It is the century's curse. As that century hasn't been marked anywhere close to marking, picking up that ball and just tip edge of the bat. Wonderfully called back to Diwa Garutsa. Came in to bat in the previous inning, pairing with beloved Biza, and now she's gotten the wicket for Zimbabwe, continuing that streak of no wickets, of no team keeping all 10 wickets beyond the power play over.
Walking in is the captain. Interestingly, we spoke about how key it is going to be to see where she bats. And of course, having gotten a very good start of 42 inside the power play, inside 4.5, I would have liked to see her trying a few tricks. Maybe send Alice Ikuze or even Mutoni Wase Clarissa, who's been very, very good. Always contributing the 20s, 18s for her side. You can't afford to lose, of course, that momentum. But again, she is one of the best in the business. We've seen the big names contributing for their sides. We saw the other day, Lucky Paiti putting on a show of her own. Making sure the Nigerians went past that 133 over the young South African side. Can this be the day of the captain, Bimenyimana Diane? Lovely shot straight to the fielder at covers. The intention is clear from the captain as we come to the end of the fifth. 42 for the loss of 1. Moving at 8.4 is Team Rwanda.
And then when you look at that wicket again, from that turn, didn't anticipate any extra turn, and that late turn off the ball, so that ball nicked the wicket spot of the bat to Tadiwa on long, short mid on.
Last over in the power play, 42 for 1. They know the young lady chevrons. The wicket to pick at the moment is 26. If, of course, they stand a chance to upset the Rwandans who are yet to lose a game in this 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's Invitational T20 tournament. She's coming to open the batting, of course. All guns blazing, 26. She has a long on, deep mid wicket. The two fielders outside the ring for Tadiwa. Full of occasion, Apisha. Straight to the fielder at backward point. Run out chance again. She was run out in the last time these two sides played is Diane Bimenyimana. Gotta be very, very careful with the calling.
Yeah, Bimenyimana hasn't really had the best of tournaments coming into today. She's always coming as one down player, but after first game's performance where she registered 10 or 15, she's not been able to get into double figures. 7 often against this Zimbabwe side, 1 or 4 against the South African under-19, and 0 or 4 against the female yellow greens of Nigeria. She has not had the best of batting innings. 4 innings batted, only 18 was registered, and she has come in number 3 on so many different occasions.
Into the pads there, works it on the onside. Yet open her counter. It's not only in this tournament, I'll tell you, Peter, she's had a drought of runs here at the Tafawa Balewa Square. Cut away powerfully this time round, and listen to the sound. Save your legs, young lady, as the captain pierces the gap between point and covers with a lovely boundary, edging closer and closer to that 50 inside the power play. Let's have a look at that again. Rocked back on the back foot, came out of the sweet spot of her blade. No chance from that diving effort. With the way, of course, the outfield is electric, allowing the ball to go all the way to the boundary. Much needed boundary for the captain, who, of course, we've been saying how she's had a drought. Let's hope we are not jinxing her in this particular game, a crucial one, to see who makes it to the finals. Full on that occasion, takes a little shimmy up over the bowler's head, but there's protection.
Yeah, this is a match. This match scenario is a game that requires all hands on deck, from the batting to the bowling, as well as the fielding. Everything has to be on point. Everyone has to be at the maximum best to help the team get to their goal.
Takes a little shimmy is the young Giselle Ishimi as she moves into the 30s. 50 comes up for Team Rwanda inside 5.5 overs. 52 to be precise for the loss of 1. Last ball to come. Toying with the field is Giselle Ishimi, once again contributing. She loves batting against the young lady chevrons. Scored 40 in the first game, and now she's on 31 of 23, still not out. How many more can they add? Takes a little shimmy again, upish. Nobody moves, says Giselle Ishimi. Is the ball going all the way for a maximum? Let's have a look. Oh, by chance, the umpire signals the 6. 58 for the loss of 1 in the power play for the Rwandan women's national team.
Met that ball off the first bounce, way outside of off, and a low power was put behind it by Giselle Ishimi. Lovely boundary and a beautiful maximum at it. 58. Rwanda already explosive and taking control of this game. It is already the end of the power play overs, which means that we are more likely to see more run-ins between the wickets. And then the batting scorecard, it is Giselle Ishimi still batting 37 of 24 balls. Fanny hasn't been able to continue on her free scoring form with 7 of 9. And Bimenyimana Manidiane, the batter currently pairing, has 5 of 4 balls faced. 9 extras in 6 overs. And a lot of fielding slopping has seen the total being set at 58. 78 needed of the next 80 ball now for as it stands. Diana slowly riding that ball to the fielder at covers. On top ball to start the second over for Salem. Andy, welcome to the comms box. We've not heard your voice since the end of the first inning.
Good afternoon, Peter, and the viewers. Interesting. We talked about this Mbata Gisile Ishimwe. We spoke about how the quality this Rwandan batting lineup is. The more dot balls there, skip at the end, 5 of 7 deliveries will have to just get off strike. Ishimwe seems to be the one informer and the owner of this partnership. And she needs to be respected, sitting on 37. There's been dominance in the power play by Rwanda. She goes big but straight to the fielder of covers. 78 of 80 balls. Salem 149.
Doing straight back down with no power, and Salem was there in time to stop any run from actualizing. 5 balls, 5 thoughts. The runs have been spun expectationally high in the past 6 overs, and this is the time to slow down that. And Salem, very good comeback from the bowler after giving out 9 in the first over, and so far none have been given. Benaimana is struggling again to score runs for the 5th successful batting inning in a row.
I think that's a good thing now. It's end of the 7th over. Score is 58 for 1. Needing 78 from 78 balls. Current run rate sits on 8.2. Required is 6. So they are well above that required run rate. Power play dominance is Gisile Ishimwe. Bimeimana Dian. That's a senior partnership role, but both are veterans. You call them young but veterans of this tournament. They've been here from the beginning, 2019.
Not surprised to see this time that the bowler is going to be Munenyansha. Coming in to bowl from the cover PN for the young lady chevrons. Munenyansha has only had 2 bowling innings so far in this tournament. One against the female Yellow Greens and another against Rwanda. Hasn't bowled in the next 2 matches after that. But she's had 1 wicket to her name and given out 17 runs off 2 overs in her last meeting against this same Rwanda side. Good start for her so far. 2 balls, 2 dots.
I think she's got the quality from a very short run up and tricky one at that. And hopefully she will be able to bowl a couple of dot balls to put the pressure on the Rwandan batters. But clearly she goes big, full toss. In the air, catch opportunity. Yes, it is taken. Another breakthrough for Zimbabwe under 19. Well set up. It is Gisele who departs, and the catch taken by Salem. See the excitement in those faces. They know how important that wicket is. But we're not done by this Rwandan side. More batters to come.
It is big pressure for Diane. Look at that ball coming through. And Giselle buying into that temptation, playing it in the air for the fielder in the deep. Good fielding by Salem. Much more compact fielding by the young lady chevrons, unlike what we saw in the previous inning, where 4 catches were dropped. And now this is just the first catch out of 2 taken. And it's 2 wickets. 2 wickets have been taken and both were catches. One in the mid-off region and another in the long off. Look at that ball again.
Let's take a look at it. It was there for the hit. One would have thought that he would have gotten much of it, but the fielder Salem waited and got balance. Very good catch in the deep.
The pressure of staying too long in the crease. We've seen, Giselle has faced a lot of balls, and in that process, she dotted a lot of balls in that process, and that's what the run rate required run rate go from 8 to 7, and that desperation to have that run rate back on strike or on par. As Sina give her a wicket, and now there's more pressure.
And clearly these things happen in games when you come in, and usually coaches will tell you get off strike. The whole idea is to keep the tempo of the game going. Unfortunately, Giselle just got caught in between there. She went big. She saw it. I'll take something from this. And it is Clarisse who joins the skipper. Short and wide, but straight to the fielder. At covers. More and more pressure. Dot balls now. But this is pressure game. I think Rwanda are quite on top, but they just have to control this innings and not be in a hurry. Just keep rotating strike. Shot this time through mid-wicket. Fielder comes around it. Brilliant piece of fielding there. Just a single from that one.
The left and right hand batting combination has been of use to the Rwanda side as this. I've seen them get a lot of free runs with White and as well as Bryce. This time remains to see if it is going to help them. Bimeimana is back on strike. Hasn't really found out rhythm. If there's any time the team needs her to turn up, it's in desperate times like this. Up in the air, but there was a fielder in the deep, and just one bounce outside the 30 yard. This is Bimeimana in this over, coming back on strike for beginning of the 9th over. 8 overs completed. It is 60 on the board for 2 wickets lost.
Nigeria, you're welcome to the Comes box. A 60 for 2 after 876 required from 72 deliveries. Ajidagba, what do you make at this point with Rwanda having 8 wickets in hand and this young Zimbabwean under 19 just squeezing things in a bit, but the runs are there, the wickets are there, the experience is there for Rwanda to go through the scoreline.
Thank you very much, Endurance. 8.1 overs done. White ball, and that's what Umutoni Wase Clarisse will do to you by virtue of her being a left-hand batter. You have to readjust your field setting. Salem Museka will have to do better, but no ball call is declared by umpire Diam Nomsa Siolise, and that's a free hit opportunity for Team Rwanda.
In the air or the save. Run out opportunity, no. Brilliant running between wickets here. The skipper running really hard between Clarisse and Bimeimana. And that clearly, that partnership gradually forging together. 70 of 70 now.
Salem hoping for a breakthrough here, especially the left-hand batter Clarisse. Another wide ball, and that looks more like wide for 5 runs
added, and at this stage endurance we were talking about the balls equating the runs that is required, but now the runs that they need is even lower than the balls that they will be facing.
Those are the loose ends need tightening, those extras, and just giving away 5 runs, yet to bowl that legal delivery and sweeps that one, but Fielder comes around it, they will get a second, they want it and they will get it. Brilliant running, Clarice here, just gradually ensuring that partnership goes through.
It's not only running two, but the fact that it's even a free hit is what is more disturbing for the Zimbabweans. They will more comfortable 2 runs, but can they do one more? No is the call. Team Rwanda are on a high. We are yet to get to drinks break. They are already on 77 and they've only lost 2 wickets up until this moment, clearly showing they are the best side at this tournament, yet to lose a game. The duo ensuring that the field setting of Zimbabwe U19 cricket team is not enjoying the joy. Oh, brilliant shots, and that easily stopped.
Brilliant work there, plenty of ground covers to make sure that boundary is protected, and brilliant batting by Bimanimana. Diane on 12 or 15 deliveries, 80 for 2 after 9 overs, 56 required from 66 deliveries. I think this partnership is gradually putting something together for Rwanda, who are presently dominating proceedings. If Zimbabwean under 19 is to make something out of this, they've got to take wickets, and clearly that is what is required. It's been a fantastic tournament so far. 2 centuries we have seen by Fani from Rwanda and beloved Biza, who also graced today scoring a decent half century, going out in the last over, almost carried our bat through. And short on the offside, brilliant, backward of point. Just a single from that to delivery.
Much later this afternoon, at exactly 2 p.m. Nigerian time, it will be the second semi-final, and it's Nigeria, champions of 2023, versus South Africa under 19 cricket team, who are making their debut at this tournament. Mika Van Voort versus Lucky Piety. Just like today's game, is it confirmation of supremacy or revenge that will be on the mind of both South Africa and Nigeria? We've said it that only 3 games has given positive results from chasing, and that is Nigeria versus Zimbabwe under 19 cricket team, their first match, and just some 48 hours ago, where Nigeria had to bat in the second innings against South Africa under 19 cricket team, and Rwanda has also done same against Nigeria.
Muneyache with a wide delivery, the 4th ball of the 10th over. Decent line. Yan wants it, but no is the call. Sending Clarisse back. Rwanda looking on the driving seat now. They were giving a scare. They seems to have the confidence. They will chase down anything coming from the Zimbabwean side. Shimmy down the wicket. Go straight. Brilliant piece of fielding. Just a single there. Contracts difference between Zimbabwe under 19 fielding and that of Rwanda. The kids throwing their body at everything. The dugout will be happy with that commitment, and hopefully they can carry this experience forward when they eventually go through the World Cup qualifiers. Short pitch delivery, she goes big, but this will raise all the way for a boundary, a much needed one. It's Clarisse, power hitting there, and then power that one again in your screen. Short pitch and powers it through, long on, and that goes all the way clearly for that much needed boundary. It's end of the 10th over, and the score is 89 for the loss of 2 wickets. From this position, it is 47 runs required of 60 deliveries.
And see how they are fared. Vijay Shimwe was 3 short of what she achieved when these 2 teams met last week Saturday. Scored 37 runs, and the coach had to get on the field just like he went when they were bowling in the first innings, having a conversation with the 2 batters, Clarisse and Diane. Later this afternoon is Nigeria versus South Africa on the 19 cricket team. Nigeria are already here. The South Africans are yet to arrive.
All right, we're back from the drinks break of our very first semi-final of the 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's Invitational T20 Tournament at the Patricia Kambarani Cup. 89 runs for the loss of 2. Needing only 47 is Team Rwanda. One player again there from the captain, who's been in fine touch alongside Uwase. Muton Uwase Clarice, who's on 13 of 9. Welcome back, Ajidaba.
Pleasure to have you back, Bob. Looks more like it's Rwanda's title to lose, or Rwanda's game to lose, if I can put it that way. Except something disastrous happens. They are going all guns blazing, and the hands on the head and the body language of Team Zimbabwe says it all.
Beloved Biza comes into the attack right after the drinks break. Outside off stamper, created room, cut away powerfully between those two fielders into the vacant deep extra cover region for a boundary. Just needing under 51s to get is the Team Rwanda. As we see, of course, teams gearing up for the second clash this afternoon. South Africa in the house of the young under 19s will be taking on the host nation, the female yellow greens. They keep the scoreboard ticking. These two, Diani Menyimana, who is already into the 20s for the very first time in this 5th edition. She's always been a joy to watch once she gets her eye in. Very good player she has been in the last couple of years, but she's had a drought, and she's made sure today on a crucial game where they decide we'll be playing the finals tomorrow. She's brought out her A game, striking it at 100. Down the leg side on the occasion from Bilal Biza. Not the best of the outings you'll see from the young lady chevrons. Later in the year, they will be, of course, playing the Under 19 World Cup in Dar es Salaam to what is expected to be the similar conditions. Down the leg side again. A lot of extras and misfields from the young lady chevrons, as Team Rwanda, of course, is edging closer and closer to that 3-digit mark. Should be an easy chase, you'd say. Very good power play set by Shizel Ishimi and the young Fanny Utogushimaninde. And they've made sure they have capitalized on that start. Takes a little Ishimi, but this time around plays this straight back to beloved Biza. Goes on the back foot again. But this time around they find the field at short fine leg. As we come to the end of the 11th. 9 runs coming off the first over of beloved Biza. 98 for 2 after 11.
And they require how many runs, what is required, and what they currently have suggests that this is looking more like a Rwanda victory, and they will maintain their unbeaten run. They now need 38 runs in 54 balls. The current run rate is at 8.91, and they require 4.22. Bimeimana Maridiani, 21 from 23 balls faced, and Umutoni Wase Clarice has faced 10 balls and scored 14 runs.
They need a magical spell from one of the spinners at the young lady chevrons if they, of course, stay alive in this chase. Beaten by the turn from the fielder at a short fine leg. Should be an easy double run out chance on the occasion. Not the best of throws. Was going to be very, very interesting if she had chipped in a very good throw to the wicketkeeper. They have blown some gas there on your screens. Is Clarissa Mutoni Wase and Bimenyimana Diane.
You can say that again. 100 comes up, but Clarice needs some medical clarity. And in goes the physio of the team, Theophile Rudiger. Baptiste is the match analyst. But looks as if she's getting better.
I'll tell you a thing or two here, Ajida, but this used to be one, of course, of the strategies from the batters, given the way they've been running between the wickets. You've got to take a breather. Is Umutoni Uwase Clarissa, shot number 18, always contributing for her side to ensure they get to the finals. Left alone on the occasion. 100, of course, with that double came up for the Rwandans inside 11.2 overs. Just needing 36 or 53 when you look at that batting lineup with the likes of Uwase Merveille, Ishimwe Henriette, the likes of Giovannis. It should be an easy chase. Loud appeal, and this time round the finger is up. Umutoni Uwase Clarice has to depart. Munanyanyasha picking up the third wicket of the young lady Chevrons.
And see that again on replay. Getting our second wicket. Rajesh had no other option than to raise that index finger. See the bench of Team Rwanda looks CCC, cool, calm, composed, and calculative. No pressure whatsoever, except from the dejected look on the face of Fanny, who felt after the first game, I have not done a lot. Another reliable batter, wicket keeper, call her stabilizer, it won't be out of place. Going in there to bat alongside Captain Bimeimana Maridiane, and that is Meville Uwase.
Shot number 6, Merveille joins the captain, who is steadying this ship, trying to get them over the line. Is Diane Nyimana. Uwase Merveille, who's been playing the finishing role for her side, one of course of the batters who have crossed 100 runs in this tournament. We've seen so should go down as a record, of course, telling you that this tournament is getting better and better every single year, with of course 2 centurions being Beloved Biza and Fanny Utagushima Ninde. She joins the captain needing 36 or 51. Spoke about how the young lady Chevrons need a magical spell from one of the spinners to stay alive in this chase that is slipping away from them, given that they're still moving at 8 runs and over is Team Rwanda. Expect to see a lot of switch hits. There you see the very cool dugout, the one on dugout. Not a bad over, you would say there from Munanyasha. She's gone for only 2 runs and picking up a wicket of Muton Uwase Clarissa. They would love to see her close off her over in style. Full sloppiness from the bowler herself, allowing these two to scamper for a quick run. 3 runs comes off that over. It is the end of the 12th. 101 for the loss of 3.
While you see the bench of Rwanda, there's also a bit of calmness on the part of the bench of the Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team. But then you can't compare the calmness that is in the camp of Rwanda and that of Zimbabwe under-19 team. That of Zimbabwe under-19 team looks more like being hopeful and prayerful that they can have the kind of bowling spell that is certain Henriette Ishimwe had against Ghana, where she bowled 2.3 overs, got 4 wickets for 4 runs, and the one she had against Team Cameroon in that same year, where she bowled 2.3 overs, got 5 wickets for 6 runs.
Beloved Biza is back into the attack. She has no deep extra cover. She's stuck to long off, long on, deep mid wicket, and a deep square leg. Starts off with the wide down the leg side. Interesting technical bench there, you'd say, given that Leonard is also from Zimbabwe. Good friends they have been for the last couple of years. But again, whoever turns out victorious, no love would have been lost from the two. As Diane once again and Uwase Merveille are toying with the field. Interesting to see Beloved Biza bowling without a deep extra cover, given that Diane is very strong down the ground. Takes a little shimmy up and over the field at covers. Didn't get enough timing, but they all settle for. At some stage I thought she is going to take that risk, but very good calling there from Uwase Merveille, telling her captain, hold your horse. We still have a long way to get that 32 or 46.
Another wide ball, far from what is expected of beloved. They say our beloved, the best batter by far, with the number of runs she has posted in 5 matches.
She was loved by the Rwandans in the field when she was still batting. And now she is making sure by giving back the love to the Rwandans with those extras. 5 runs so far in this second over of beloved Biza. Goes with back foot, loud appeal. But the umpire is not interested, saying that was a missing leg stump. Got to be very, very careful. Is the captain, Diane.
Question is, you always advise that players, batters play on the front foot because it's risky to go on the back foot. Another lucky Diane, and she will continue to bat.
Losing focus, would say here, Ajirawa from the captain in these last 2 deliveries of beloved Biza. Mis-stamping, you would say there, from my liking. I would have loved to see that on the replay. But they don't mind the dot balls, are the young lady chevrons. They need to create more pressure to see if they can pick up a wicket over the captain. Another single to, of course, bring us to the end of the 13th over. It's 107 for the loss of 3 wickets, needing a big pardon, 30 or 43. The equation is clear there. Ajira with 30 to get in 43. I thought so. It is 29 runs given, of course. The last delivery went for a single. 107 for the loss of 13 overs.
Except a miracle happens, and you ask me, Ajilagba, do you believe in miracles? Yes, I do. But this is almost looking like, in advance, you begin to say congratulations to Team Rwanda. But then they say cricket is biscuits.
Goes the one is the captain. Not enough timing again. She's looked to be struggling with the spinner. I don't mind seeing Diane. Yes, she's still out there on 23 of 28, getting a single and allowing Uwase Merveille, who is more of a hard hitter compared to Diane Menyimana, to have a go at the spinners. Half track again pulled away. There's protection in the deep. And of course, with that single, it brings Merveille Uwase. There you see the female yellow greens getting ready for a clash between them and the young South Africa under 19s this afternoon in our second semi-final. Goes on the back foot, but straight to the field at covers. Another dot ball. But they're still way ahead of the record run rate at the Rwandans. But again, these are one of those games where you want to close off the game as soon as possible. You can't afford to get into the last end. Goes cheeky and effective. She will look to pick up a double. Is Uwase Merveille, given that she's running into the danger zone. Easy 2 runs to add to the total from the Rwandans.
And to show you how important this game is to Team South Africa under 19 cricket team, immediately they arrived, they went into one of the finest labs in Africa, the cricket lab, to go and have a practice session. And like I said, this is the South Africans at the cricket lab getting ready for this big game. Like I said, Will it be confirmation of supremacy from Nigeria to South Africa, or revenge on the mind of the South African U19 cricket team? Thank you, our super producers. Thumbs up to you guys. Murakoze.
Tawanyasha will be bowling left arm orthodox from the pavilion end. Throws the kitchen sink at that one is the captain, Diani Menyimana, as she picks up a boundary, putting her under the pump from the very first ball. She's looking to close off this game as soon as possible and go have a quick shower and enjoy, of course, the semi-finals at the hotel. Half tracker outside off stamper. No protection in the deep, and they pay the price. She was the player of the match in the very first encounter, is the captain. With the ball in hand, she picked up 4 wickets inside her 3.4 overs, went for 17. And today, once again, she picked up 3 wickets. And the big one of beloved Biza to make sure they don't leak a lot of runs at the back end. And now with the bat, getting form at the right time. 28 of 31. One of the contenders again of the player of the match in this particular game. And they decide, of course, that who plays the final. There you see the cricket lab. Well, of course, some of the teams have been getting their warm-ups. And again, it tells you a thing or two that this is one of the teams that have come in this being the 5th edition with a very good squad, you'd say, given that they have now the likes of Fanny Utagushima Ninde at the top, who made a statement in her very first game going into the record books. She is now ranked 66th in the world. Run of chance there, but not the best of throws. Some animated appeal there from the fielders, but the umpire says not out.
Again, these are some of the names. Always coming around to support the girls that he raised and was there with them for several years. And these are also former cricketers coming around to see the big game later this afternoon.
115 for the loss of 3 right after the 15th over is 21 runs to get in the next 30 deliveries. Still moving at 7.6 is Team Rwanda. Tadiwa is back into the bowling attack coming in from the Court of Appeal end. She has a long offer. Long on, a deep square leg and deep mid wicket. The 4 boundary riders for Uwasemeve and Diani Menyimana. Takes a little shimmy up and over the field at covers. A lot of work to be done in the deeper. They will settle for 2 runs. Much needed.
Zimbabwean captain saying 150 is the target. You say, Bob, that inability to score 150 is one of the reasons this Zimbabwean under-19 cricket team would have to settle for maybe a bronze medal.
Lovely to see again in the first semi-final that Diani Menyimana, for the very first time, she has crossed her highest score in Nigeria at the Tafawa Balewa Square, which was, of course, a 28. 117 should look to capitalize and pick up a boundary. Is Uwase Merveille takes a little shimmy on that occasion. Not enough timing. Should be looking for the second, but Diane is not interested. Of course, if you're just joining us, it's the young lady Chevrons who won the toss and decided to have a bat faster. At some stage, you thought 136 was enough given the way the pitches have been playing here. Not easy to chase, but led by the young, red-hotted Giselle Ishime, took away the game in the power play to ensure they had 50 plus runs in the power play. And now these two, Diani Menyimana joining Umutoni Uwase, Clarissa, they stabilized, kept on moving at 8 runs and over, and now they found themselves needing only 17 in the next 27 as she drives one straight to long on for yet another single. They keep the scoreboard ticking.
You can say that again, and that is the VIP center. The team manager of the under-19 cricket team. The team manager of the under-19 cricket team to Malaysia, and board member representing South on the Cricket Federation board, Femi John, was the person you just saw on your screen. And of course, another board member, Usman Ladan, representing the Northwest on the board of the Cricket Federation. We've seen other people come around also, the likes of the president of NAWIS, National Association of Women in Sports, Professor Madam Sulaiman is here. We have Major Rubala also here, a board member, and we have representing the Northeast, Ajia Zainab Ishaku. She's also here.
Back to the live action is going to be Tawananyasha back to the bowling attack from the pavilion end. They just need 15 runs to get in the next 24 deliveries. Starts off with the long on, deep mid wicket, and a deep extra cover and a long off for the only boundary riders. Full on the occasion, not enough timing from Uwase Merveille. Should settle for only 1 run, allowing now the informed red-hotted Diani Menyimana to take striker. They have made sure they've covered all her scoring areas, long off, long on, and deep extra cover this time round. What are the scoring options she has? Takes a little shimmy, finds the fielder at covers, another dope bowler. We haven't seen her sweep that much. I'd love to see her creating that scoring option. No ball signal by the umpire, free hitter. Hard hands on that occasion from Diani Menyimana. Interesting decision there from the umpire as Dian was given out, stamped. Can only get out on a free hitter if you run out. Puts on a smile, of course, is the captain, Diani Menyimana. But of course, the umpire straight away goes, apologizes as he revoked that decision. Went hard, trying to play it on the onside. Look at that appeal from the wicketkeeper. I don't blame the youngsters, of course, but you gotta make sure you know all the rules. 123 for 3 after 16.1. Another good shot there from the captain, but straight to the sweeper fielder in the deep.
this afternoon will be very, very hot. Not in terms of what the weather condition will be, but the gameplay itself, because we are gradually getting to congratulating Team Rwanda for booking a place in the final of this year's edition.
Takes a little shimmy is Diana. There's the fielder selling herself as she takes a very easy catch in the deeper. A good knock has to come to the end is Bimenyimana, who has with part for her 34 of 42 deliveries. Youthful, she's done a tremendous job with the batter. She would have loved to carry her team over the line, but she doesn't mind leaving only 12 runs to get her for the next batter. I believe it's going to be none other than Ariete Shimi, who will be joining Uwase Merveille, who is still out there for her 8 of 13. Fourth wicket falls, courtesy of Tawanyasha. Full-lighted delivery. Took a little shimmy, picked it on the halfer, but not enough power behind the shoulder, allowing the fielder in the deep to take a very, very good catch. 124 for 4 after 16.4 overs. Shimi Henriette joins, of course, Uwase Merveille, needing only 10 runs to get in the next 19.
I just took a breather and I came back. You know, at some point in this game, it looked like the young lady chevrons were looking to see this game all out to the very end, and now it looks like the Zimbabwe are just 2 boundaries away from getting to their target.
You have to give credit to Gijeli Shimwe, who started that onslaught as the opening batter. Yes, she was 3 short of what she achieved when these two teams met and they won by 60 runs. She scored 37. Great contribution from Bimenyimana Maridiane, scoring her highest run in Nigeria as far as the Women's Invitational is concerned. And a bit of assistance coming from Umutoni Wase Clarice, the left-hand batter, would now make this game safe for Team Rwanda.
Well, that was the end of the 17th over. 126 for 4, now 10 of 18. Every dot ball we count and every run will also count both ways. It is a battle, and Zimbabwe under 19 looking to make this game even much more easier. It is now 9 and still 18 balls is what is left. Ariete on strike after scoring the run of the last ball in the previous over. And now we are at the countdown point. Played in the air, into the gap, as that late contact by the fielder at short mid wicket. So that ball descend faster sooner than he should have off that shot of the batter. 1 run. On strike is Miville. A dozen bit the bat bowler this time around. The runs are ticking down. 128 is what the Zimbabweans have on the board. The team, actually, there was a little bit of yell there as that was a catch opportunity missed. And you can see from the coach, not impressive what she has seen so far. There was a battle, but at some point the battle slipped out of the hands of the field inside.
The bench of Zimbabwe
they're looking very unhappy and almost giving up, run out chance and run out missed. It's almost game set and done for Team Rwanda. They will maintain their unbeaten run, and like we said, 7 runs in 15 balls. It's almost done and dusted. Great shot from Melville. They will take one. They can afford to slow things down. If they had gotten to maybe a 150, maybe we would have been in for a shout. But with this, makes it the more difficult. It's almost done. 6 runs in 13 balls. Regardless of whoever the result is today, this Zimbabwe on the 19th side deserve all the accolades they will be getting for this very performance, pushing this match all the way to the end. 5 of the next 12 is what is needed, and the captain, as we saw in the previous match, coming in the 19th over to shift the momentum of the game. Remains to see if that decision will pay off. The 5 run is still very much more defendable. Look at the Nigerian bench already prepped and warming up as they are 1 win away from a final bout with the Rwanda side. They lost the first encounter and they'll look to come back and make the statement, winning the trophy for the 3rd time on home soil. They are doing the exercise under the watchful eyes of former Nigerian international and one of the guys that scored the fastest 50 for Nigeria, Sheye Olympio, who is now the strength and conditioning coach, as well as the team physio, Miriam Ujunwa. But those are 2 good balls. Fast balls that Mwasi Review couldn't come back, hasn't been able to find the space, and it's 5 runs now near of the next 10 balls. That is less than a run. Caught and ball position has paid off, feeding off of Uwasemovi's desperation as that big shot was sent comfortably to the hands of Bulebenko Simaposa. Take a look at that replay, trying to send it off to the leg side, but could only play it into the hands of the awaiting skipper. Good decision, 1 wicket, and now it is 5 of 9, and she still has 3 more balls to bowl. This game looks like it will play up all the way to the very end.
Again, when you bowl and you catch, it comes down to bowlers' awareness. The reason they always emphasize on bowling and watching the ball and not throwing your eyes off the ball. See that she never threw her eyes off the ball. The reason she could get that take it back from Melville Wase.
Looks uncomfortable, Bulebenko. That ball was straight hit, and she used her hands to absorb all the energy coming out of the ball and seems to be in a slight discomfort. But I think at the end of the day, that risk of that catch was worth it. Alice Ikuze is the new batter in, now coming on strike to face the last 3 balls, and will be playing with Enriete. Both batters, all they just need to do is just keep running between the wickets.
When you still have an Henriette Shimwe, you've got a match winner batting, and Alice Ikuze will also provide you with the support that you require. The fact that the current run rate is at 7.08 and what is required is 3.33 means that it is in the hands of Team Rwanda to lose.
Harrington and Alice having a little bit of discussion while the skipper of the young lady chevrons is being attended to, saying that all that energy off that ball, off that shot, been absorbed into her delicate hands. Good wicket, good cut and board. First wicket since match day 1 that she's taking, and it's coming at the much desperate time. It remains to see if she will be able to finish out the rest of this over. But for now, they can ease out and look to push this game 1 over further and hopefully secure the much needed victory. Pulebenko Maposa is fit to continue and has been handed the ball with 3 more balls left in the 90th over, 5 of 9, and that's 5 runs shy of another final presence for the Rwanda side. Two of the last previous editions of this Women's Invitational Tournament has had finals, unlike the last edition where it was just a round robin that Tanzania dominated. Rwanda have been ever present in all of those features, and now they are being given a run for it going into the very end. 4 balls, no runs yet. This is her 3rd over, and she hasn't given out more than 7 runs. Comes for the attempt from Nicolette. Only guides that ball to the boundary, 4 or 4. Much disappointment from the fielder. She doesn't feel proud of herself and think she seems to be in a little bit of discomfort. That ball came off her knee, full length from the skipper. It's coming off the kneecap of Nicolette Nyika. Now it's 1 run as the runs are tied. It is 1 of 7 needed.
Peter, there's something that can happen in this tournament. It's either we are having finalists who have never faced each other, that is South Africa under 19 cricket team against Rwanda, or for the 3rd time in 5 attempts, or call it, or say the first one was more like a bilateral series, but I mean a real final is to have Nigeria take on Rwanda in take 3. The first time they met was back in 2022. 1 run needed in 6 balls. I recall Nigeria beating Rwanda in the final group game, and one of the interviews I had with Bime Imana Mari Diane that day was the loss has brought out the beast in us. They went ahead to beat Nigeria in the final by 53 runs. The following year, which was 2023, when Nigeria won, Nigeria also lost that battle but won the war, and the war is usually very important, beating Rwanda in the final by 9 runs. If these 2 teams clash again, it will be the 3rd time of asking.
It looks almost prepared for the Rwandans. You know, the table has been put in front of them, and what remains is just to take that first bite of a final spot. And who else if not the batter herself, beloved Biza, the well-rounded all-rounder for the young lady chevrons, will come in for the final over. There's a slight possibility that we might see another super over if no one is caught on this over.
I need to cut you loose there. Even my mom, who cannot play cricket to save her life, will play this over and get it over the line. More importantly, beloved Biza bowling at this difficult period. I will not be surprised if this game ends in the first ball of the last over.
So much tension between both sides right now. One ball, 1 run needed, and that will be reduced to 5 balls now. 1 on 5. All cards on the tables of the Rwandan batters. Last card. Checkmate for Rwanda. In the finals they go. In the finals they will ascend for the third time of beckoning.
I thought you said we are going into a super over. You need to have a super lunch. I haven't done this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the game. Busembento Shi Mapusa will have loved to come back here and play in the final, but the reality staring us in the face is that Team Rwanda, after playing 5 matches, are yet to taste a defeat. Bimeimana Marindiane has always come the second time during post-match, which means the captain who eventually lost would field questions first before she comes. She's enjoying a great time in the song. Congratulations, and see that again. The match summary: Zimbabwe won the toss and elected to bat first, scoring 135 for a lot of 4 wickets in 20 overs. Beloved Biza, unarguably the best batter and the best batter in this tournament, 67 runs from 50 balls. Christina Mutasa, 31 runs from 23 balls. Lauren Pemiwa, 18 runs from 12 balls. And for the bowling, Bimeimana Maridiane led from the front, 3 wickets for 21 runs in 4 overs, becoming the highest wicket taker as we speak. Shiwamana Rosete, 1 wicket she had. And of course for Team Rwanda, Gijeli Shimwe, 37 runs for 27 balls. Bimeimana Maridiane unarguably will win the player of the match, except something changes. 34 runs from 42 balls, at best batting performance in Nigeria. And Clarice Umotoniwase, 16 runs from 13 balls. Mandi Rosa, 2 wickets. Mapusa 1 and Salem Museka also 1. That is how things have panned out. Rwanda winning by 5 wickets. For the post-match endurance of them.
Hello and welcome to our post-match presentation of our very first semi-final. Earlier, of course, it was Nigeria, I beg your pardon, Zimbabwe under 19s who won the toss and decided to have a bat first, posting 135 for the loss of 4 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. And with the chase, of course, a very collective performance from the Rwandans, led, of course, by Giselle Ishimi's 37, and the captain once again contributed with the bat 34 to ensure they stay unbeaten and winning by 5 wickets, being the first team to qualify for the finals. We'll start with Maposa, the captain of the Zimbabwe under 19s. Tough luck, Maposa. At some stage, 135 looked like a very competitive total. What do you guys think you lost the game?
Yeah, the score was defended 135, but then I feel like the second innings we became soft and we ended up giving up the game.
What positives do you take from this tournament?
I think the girls were really expressing themselves. There is an improvement, especially on our batting. We saw Beloved, good to see Beloved hitting 150s, so and Lauren Penua, so that's a plus for us.
All right, we wish you the best in the next game.
Thank you so much.
That was it from the captain of the Zimbabwe under 19s. And now allow me to welcome the winning captain, Tianmi Minimana. Congratulations once again. 5 out of 5 for you. How happy are you for your side?
I'm so happy.
What do you make of your contributions to that, Diane?
Oh, it was needed and it came in the right moment.
Who would you want to play in the finals, given that the second semi-final South Africans will be taking on the Nigeria, the host nation?
For us, we're just taking the result of the second game as it is and we're playing accordingly.
God the best.
Thank you.
Now to hand over our player of the match award is one of our board members, Zainabu Ishako. Please come through. And our player of the match is none other than, of course, the captain leading from the front. Picked up 3 wickets, went for 21 in 4 overs, and with the bat 34 or 41. Tianmi Minimana is the player of the match. Well done again as second player of the match award comes, of course, against the Zimbabwe under 19s. One message you tell the people back at home following you live?
It's just to keep waiting and keeping the numbers and make sure that we don't disappoint.
Okay, wish you the best in the final game. And that was it from us, the post-match presentation. Do not go anywhere as the host nation, the female Yellow Greens will be taking on the South Africa under 19s in the second semi-final.